Hey everybody, it's Party Elite. Welcome you back to another live streamed session of our Suzerain playthrough. I hope y'all are having a wonderful Friday behind you, and I hope you have a wonderful weekend ahead of you. How's everybody doing on this, what is a rather beautiful Friday here in Toronto, actually. It's like we're diving right into summer over here. How's it going, everybody? God, I love the music in this game. We got with us, right off the bat today, Jazzy B, Omkar J, Ivilo Zlatkov, Nathan DeCray, Classified, Sant Gens. This game is like an addiction. It really is. It really is. It's kind of a good thing that you can only play one save at a time, unless you, I guess, buy multiple copies and have multiple Steam accounts. Not a bad thing. Not a bad thing. Bewitched Phantom, how's it going, buddy? Spindle, how goes? Wickles, Natalie P, Amar Chaturvedi, Ted Knight, Ease, Ren K, 1124. Bewitched Phantom, stop the game whenever you want. You just don't want to stop right now. Exactly. It's only an addiction if you acknowledge it being an addiction. Ease, oh my god, man. Jishnu S, how's it going, buddy? Unfortunately, I cannot read Arabic, so I cannot read your name, but thank you for the rose. Do let me know how that's said. And for the Swiss heart, or the medical heart. Diablo, how's it going, buddy? Yeah, my approach, Jazzy B, is a hard one to explain. I'm an elusive man, what can I say? I feel like the term elusive man is very topical this week. Trying a mixed approach indeed, yeah. Well, I was hoping for a mixed economy, but it's not really something the game enables as much as I thought it might. Which is not to say it's not an option, it's just not as much of an option as going clean one way or another as far as at least your economic policies are concerned. At times it hints at being able to do a mixed economy thing, and then it kind of doesn't really. Or it's very possible that the game just doesn't like a mixed economy, even though mixed economies, can work. I'm not gonna say do, but can. Everything can work in theory. But yeah, definitely. I think it's cost us in a few ways trying to do a mixed economy. Hannibal OP, 20 IQ. How goes? Beast, Orpher. Hey. And David Denalook. Happy May 2-4 indeed. Yeah, long weekend in Canada, at least. Long weekend in Ontario, at least. The Monday closest to the 24th of May. Officially called Victoria Day. Unofficially called May 2-4. Partly because it's the 24th of May, but also because you can buy 2-4's beer at like discount rates and stuff. All the bars get on it. Nah, Ease, we got. Oh, wait. The UK has May 2-4 as well. You guys actually do Victoria Day as well. Yeah, Canada does it too. Still the Queen of Canada too. Let's not forget, right? In that lineage, over in Canada too. Zaketh, how's it going, buddy? No ping on Discord. There's a ping. There should be a ping, unless you've muted me. But yeah, for sure. All right, folks. Let's hit that resume button, shall we? Now I'm gonna be transparent with all y'all right off the bat. I didn't think this was going to be a problem, but it is going to be a problem. So I slept funny last night, and I bit my tongue in my sleep. And I don't mean like a normal one. I mean like a proper, like, I think I've been having a very stressful week and a half, 2 weeks. And you know when you clench your jaw a lot when you're super stressed out? I've been having a lot of that lately. And that happened in my sleep while my tongue was, I guess, in between my teeth. And if I sound like I'm talking funny today, if I have like a bit of a, it's not really a lisp, see? Like, I gotta it hurts, is what I'm saying. So if I sound a little like off today, literally like sound like my words are different, that's why. No, I didn't bite my tongue clean off, but I definitely have an injury. And this is like the silliest thing. I was like, what? How does this happen? Like, what are the chances? It'll be fine. These kinds of injuries, they heal in a couple days. But literally this morning I woke up and I'm like, oh damn, this is not good. So heads up, if if I sound a little funny, that's why. I didn't think it was actually going to affect my speech, but then I started saying hello, and I was like, wow, I'm actively having to think about where what I'm doing to speak properly. So my apologies if things are a little weird today in that sense. I did not know actually that the UK has it as a long weekend as well. That's actually good to know, because for the longest time I was under the impression that the UK did not do it as a long weekend, and I was like, well, that's kind of weird that we do Queen Victoria's birthday and the UK doesn't. But so it's good to know that the UK does as well. I imagine a couple other Commonwealth countries do too. I've only lived in 3 Commonwealth countries, I think, so I only know about 3 of them, and I know one of those 3 does not. But which Phantom has translated that through Google. It's the world of well, I don't need the translation as much as I need the transliteration. I need to know like how it's said as opposed to what it means. You know what I mean? But thank you though. I do appreciate it. Last Monday in May. Is it the last Monday in May? I thought it was like the Monday closest to the 24th, which I guess is always going to be the last Monday in May. Spindle. Slithering like a snake. And I can. It's not S's. It's something else. I can't tell exactly what. The stream will be for 2 hours, folks, and that is not a long time, so let's dive into it. I apologize for sharing stories about how my speech might be funny today, but I thought you should know before things you go, what's wrong with Party? Is he been day drinking again? No. Let's dive on into some of these reports first, because God knows there's a lot of them. And we'll take a look at the news, and then we'll dive into our next event over here. Last session, we did indeed, yes, take a loan from the IMF equivalent of this universe. Oh, that's weird, classified. Let me just drop a message in. Hey, if your stream hasn't started, hit refresh. YouTube's been funny. YouTube's been funny all week. They've had some issues on the back end and the front end. So just a heads up, if your stream hasn't started, just hit that refresh button. Oh my God, just dropping tongue twisters. The irony. But yeah, sorry. So yeah, last session, things went okay last session. I mean, damn, was last session the big twist? I guess it was. It wasn't the session before, was it? Or maybe it was, and we started acting on it. But just as a reminder, whether it happened last session or the session before, just as a reminder, our Minister of Interior turned out to be complicit in the assassination of Bernard Circus, who was killed within our first session, right, during my like on the birthday stream. It wasn't only her; it was her and a bunch of other people of the Old Guard. That investigation finally kind of concluded, and there was proper, solid evidence that that she and a bunch of other Old Guard folk were involved in that assassination. On the topic of assassination, and you know, with a side step. Oh my God, the topic of death. Yes, Peter Vectorn killed himself, and that was unfortunate. Obviously, my God, what a quote! Peter Vectorn killed himself, and that was unfortunate. Jesus, I gotta watch my tongue. Hey, no, but for real, that was unfortunate. I was really hoping that it wouldn't come to it, but I think we all had our suspicions, and yeah, and he decided he'd had enough. He jumped off a bridge, left a note behind. We never really got to read the note. I guess that note was intended for his wife. I mean, I guess they never were officially ex, right? They didn't divorce. So his widow now, and she, right? Very important note. She sold his estate and is using that money to travel the world, or a part of the world. I forget exactly the details, but jackpot, I believe, is what that's called. So that happened. Apart from that, yes, we took a loan from the IMF equivalent, recovered our budget a little bit, economy's looking all right. And we made a lot of decisions as well with regards to kind of moving forward, our policies moving forward, and what we'd like to pursue moving forward. I mean, last session was actually a very, very dense session. I can't recap everything because it would literally be stuck here for an hour just recapping. But Lilius Graf, just as a reminder, this is our former minister who got arrested thanks to the AC AAA quadruple C ACP Jazzy B. I found an efficient way to say that. She wanted more power, you'll remember. She wanted to have access to the gendarmerie. She wanted to have access to all kinds of stuff. So I'm glad we said no. I'm glad we had that early kind of inkling that she was corrupt. And I'm glad we've put her behind bars. It's fantastic. With moderate power comes moderate responsibility. Wait. Jazzy B, goddammit. Y'all made jokes about it being easier for her because he just died. I mean, it's a weird situation because, you know, they still spent, what, they were still like together for 20 years. I forget, did they have kids? They didn't have kids, right? I mean, hey, like I said, right, bit of a jackpot situation for her. She was done with that relationship. Now she just she got the estate, sold it. She's traveling the world, having a good time. Though I see there are suspicions that he faked his death and he's hiding in, what did you say, Argentina or an island off the coast of South America. He's out there with like Tupac and stuff, Biggie, Tupac, Peter Vector, all hanging out. Yes, we can't forget Bless the Rains down in Anrica. That was a blessed moment. A truly blessed moment. Nissarg, how's it going, buddy? Glad you can make it. CJ, how fares? What happened with the Lotharberg assets? Yeah, they pulled out of the country, but we have not yet come to a conclusion with regards to that. We've talked a bit about how there's a void, like a power void, as far as that side of things is concerned. But it hasn't been filled yet. However, I mean, again, I feel like the worst of that, I mean, I'm jinxing myself right off the bat over here. I feel like the worst of that has come to pass, and despite that, our economy kind of recovered. We went from like, I think we went from like 4 down to 1, back up to 4. And again, the budget recovery is because of a loan, but I'll take it. You know, I'll take it. All right. Let's dive on in, shall we? Sergio, how's it going, buddy? You heading out? Today I can't stay. Just came to say hello, drop the like, and wish everyone a good weekend. Well, thank you very much for coming through, man. I appreciate the visit. I appreciate the like, and have yourself a wonderful weekend as well. You're going to catch the VOD. Sounds good. We'll make it a fun one for you, man. Thanks for dropping by, though. Truly appreciate it. Have yourself a wonderful Friday. I hope it's a good one for you, man. All right, what's going on over here? Celebrations in Suzerain. Oh, another thing I should mention is we did give a speech to our party, to the conservatives in our party in particular, and I think it went swimmingly. I think it went really well. I think we had like multiple rounds of thunderous applause. You know, make all the Star Wars jokes you want to on that front, but listen, man, if it keeps us in power, I think it went well. So hopefully we'll see some positivity from that. Peter's working at a 7-Eleven with Elvis. What is that a running theory? Lance Theos Pederes, how's it going, buddy? Having a good day, I hope. You took the day off today, Ease? Oh, extra long weekend then. Oh wait, no, right. You don't have. It's just automatic for me to assume it's the long weekend, right. But hey, normal long weekend for you. Having a good one, I hope. We'll check the news out after we take a look at all of these reports. I find that the news is often as a result of these reports. I don't know if that's always the case, but from time to time it certainly is. So I'm just going to look at the reports first. Celebrations in Suzerain. Many of the locals in Suzerain gathered in Suzerain City Square to celebrate the revocation of the ban on the Blutish Freedom Party. The mayor of Suzerain reported that the amnesty and the revocation were greeted by the Suzerainers with festivities. Okay. We might be turning public opinion about us around. Because again, remember, nobody likes us. Despite our best attempts, most people don't like us. I think the working class citizen and women are probably the only people, and the Bloods are probably the only people that we can kind of, sort of count on. But, truth be told, our party, historically, isn't good for those groups. So they might associate, like, despite all of our best work in this term, they might still, the power of our party's history might overwhelm what I've done in this last term. So I guess we'll find out. Today's Tea Day? It's like, what, International Tea Day or something? So I think E should always be called E's. Yeah, that's his official name. Though I don't know how to say that up arrow hat accent. Unbanning B if he goes some way to making up for listening to Ease to get a deal with Welland. I don't know if anything makes up. I I don't think anything makes up for listening to ease when it comes to making deals. Hey, Jason Wright. Hey, I love it. I love it. I love it. How's it going, buddy? How's it going? I'll make sure to have extra cups of tea for sure. All right. Report from Sarna. The city of Sarna juggling between economics and racial tension. The mayor of Sarna reported the economic growth of the city to increase by 10%. He expressed his gratitude for the investment in the region. However, the multicultural city of Sarna is still struggling with its economic problems. Furthermore, the tension between the Bludish people and the local sword is still very high. Why is the tension capitalized like it's an event that historians are going to write about? That's a little ominous. Let's not do that prematurely. Over at Dare, Bludish Freedom Party starts campaigning. Oh, how dare they? Bludish Freedom Party joined the election race immediately after being legalized. The BFP announced that Ramzu Kojak will be the party's presidential candidate. Their first rally will be held in Dare tomorrow. See, so there you go. We now have more competition for that Bludish vote that I was doing well to secure. But the fact of the matter is if I didn't do that, I would lose that vote anyway. So it's kind of like damned if you do, damned if you don't kind of a thing. Yeah, exactly. So everyone remembers the tension. The tension is making PE tense. That's an understatement, man. Understatement. Bewitched Phantom. I think Ease is a war criminal. Jazzy B, but that's based on nothing more than what we've seen on this run. Hold on, what? Oh, you're talking about Soul. Oh, okay. Yeah, they're gonna take my vote, but like we wouldn't have had it anyway. Because if we'd shut down that plea, we'd be just like any other, former president of Sordland. But it's look, for a better tomorrow, right? For a better tomorrow. If anything, I'll retire and I'll retain that immunity like Saul does, because they didn't allow our reforms to pass, right? The tension is raining down. Oh my god. CJ, that's an interesting... I like that phrase. You give them a finger and they take your arms and legs. Which finger did you give them? God damn. Yeah, the PFJP is definitely more in line. Like, my policies would probably fit more naturally among the folks of the PFJP, really. The city of Lenkurg floating due to salmons. What? The mayor of Lenkurg reported the economic growth of the city to increase by 10%. Nice! He expressed his gratitude for the investment in the region. However, economic activities in the region seem to stagnate. It seems that the export of salmon is the only thing that is keeping it afloat. Well, that's a problem. That's a problem, especially as tensions are rising over here as well. Let's not forget, that's a thing that is a constant now. Happens almost every session for the last 3 sessions. Amnesty given to thousands. Man, we made a big move last session with this. I mean, I didn't expect to see this much of a response, I guess. Together with the revocation of the ban on the BFP and the subsequent amnesty, about 6,000 people who were arrested in 1930s and the 1940s for their ties to the Bludish Freedom Front have now been released. 72 high-profile Bludish political protesters who were being held up in maximum security Antal Rock prison were also released. So this is where it's just like... Like, I sincerely hope that our decision didn't include freeing people who were proven guilty of things like, I don't know, like... Again, when you're a political prisoner under somebody like Saul, you can end up in maximum security for, like, coughing in the wrong direction, and you'll have your face photoshopped out of history, right? Like, we have real-world examples of this kind of thing. We have comedy movies about this sort of thing. But it's a very real thing. So, it's hard to really judge these prisoners. We granted amnesty, I assume, only to people who were thrown in jail for their political alignment, not for actually committing crimes, like real crimes. For what I know, the PFJP is a coalition between social democrats and classical liberals. Are they I think the game presents them as just a party of their own. They're not a coalition per se. I don't know if I guess I could look them up. PFJP. I don't know if it mentions what its like parts are. So I think it's just one. But if you mean like a political ideology blend, I understand what you're saying. I thought you meant like an actual coalition party. When are we conquering the world? Every day, man. Every day, one step at a time. That decision bothers me. The game made it sound like the party being unbanned and non-criminals being released, but instead it seems to be every man and his dog. Yeah, exactly, Ted Knight. I find that happens from time to time. There's a bit of there's occasionally a lack of clarity, which makes me go, wait, hang on a second. That's not exactly what I wanted, though. And I'm not sure what's gone down there, and it's a little unfortunate. Aces above, how's it going, buddy? Yeah, that's a lot of political prisoners, and you know they weren't all involved in something questionable, right? Unless you consider their party questionable to begin with. The mayor of Morbel reported the economic growth of the city to increase by 10%. He expressed his gratitude for the investment in the region. However, economic activities in the city seem to stagnate. It seems that the flow of goods and materials between Hallsword and Morna is the only thing that is keeping it afloat. Okay, so I guess this is like bittersweet news. Like, our investments have done well, but because the, the Lotharberg group pulled out, there's also some stagnation going on. The National Front Party has welcomed General Lutherin's son into their midst today in Hallsword. Seeing a Lutheran back in politics is shocking to many citizens. General Lutherin infamously organized the military coup against former President Whiskey that led to the Swordish Civil War. Mr. Kibner has organized the event to appeal to his voter base. This is a symbolic step for the NFP, as Lutherin was arguably the most well-known nationalist in Sordland. Wow, these guys are bringing out the big guns, eh? Hopefully they don't do it literally. How have I made it to 21 episodes? It's important to remember, Finn Shopes, that while live streaming, there's a lot of, I don't want to call it interruptions, but it's a very different experience, right? Like right now, I'm spending, 30 seconds to 60 seconds responding to your comment. Imagine that times, 100 comments, 200, 300, 500 comments in a stream of 2 hours long. It slows things down. It's a quick game if you're quick about it, but voice acting is a strong word, but I read everything out. It's different. It's different when you're live streaming. That's why it's 21 episodes and we're still going. That's why. A lack of clarity happens in real life as well. True. You're right, Nisark. That's a fair point. I can appreciate that. I just wish, I guess, my decree was a bit more clear, because that's what it was. It was a decree. And if I'm president and I'm signing an order, I should hope that I know what's coming with that order. Now, that's not always the case. However, that's a big one. Jason Wright, oh no. There's also, there's about 8 hours of content for your first run. I guess I do also take it, again, every time a family incident comes up, everything grinds to a halt as I hem and haw over who to upset and who to make happy. I don't know why this is grayed out, but this is the new news. Kibner condemns President Rain. In a television interview, Cesaro Kibner condemned President Rain for unbanning the Bludish Freedom Party, which he called a separatist political movement with an aim to destroy the Swordish nation. President Rain has just made the worst mistake of his term by revoking the ban on the BFP. We know they are the political wing of the BFF who are murdering babies in Bergia. Oh no, I have read this before. Why is this being counted as new news? Weird. Yeah, I don't know. That's weird. Anyway, over to Lackhaven. Another report over here. PFJP Richter's slogan, victory for everyone. Okay. Yeah, but Ted Knight, didn't it just say that there was a new news article? I don't know. Maybe I'm blind. Yeah, basically, Saketh. Basically. In fact, I believe that math works out exactly. That's kind of funny. Classified, hell yeah, baby. Hell yeah. I'm so glad. That's exactly what I was going for. I'm so glad that came across. As the 1957 election starts to approach, Friends Richter and the People's Freedom and Justice Party are making waves in Lackhaven. Their campaign slogan, Victory for Everyone, covered the city after a campaign visit to the city. The PFJP has been the United Sordland Party's major opposition since their formation, each year earning a higher percentage of votes. Excuse me, why do you want victory for everyone when you can get back on the rain train? Come on now. Blue Mansion, scheduled a TV interview. I hope I didn't shy away from the powder. I mean like powder for my face. Oh god, just realized what. Listen, no, they're not actually murdering babies, man. It's a good alliteration. It's a catchy alliteration to convince people that these people are evil. They're not murdering babies. They're kissing them, I'm sure. How are the factions doing? I don't think. Let me just check over here. We have. Yeah, Orso Hawker is still the Chief Justice. Even though he's old guard, and even though our investigation brought stuff up, and even though he was being very sketchy, he's not behind bars yet. It's just our Minister of Interior, who we probably should replace relatively soon. If 90% is corrupt, does not make it justice, and the other 10% corruption, I mean, no. Corruption has a relatively clear definition. Oh no, what have I done, chat? Yeetus, there goes the fetus. Holy crap. I'm gonna use that in real, like, in just general conversation at some point in my life. God. That's like, how many babies does it take to paint a wall red? The makeup crew had just finished their preparations for this interview. Hey, called it. What do you know? Lucian stopped me on my way out to the balcony, of the Blue Mansion, where the filming crew was standing ready to start filming. Are you ready for the interview, sir? Why don't I look ready? Yeah, you gotta exuberate confidence when you're about to go in for an interview. Yes. Good. I've done my best to make this happen. This is very important for our administration. The crew is ready to start filming, and Mr. Sacker is excited to interview you. I don't like that name. I don't like that name as it pertains to somebody who's about to, grill me. I don't know, man. As I explained before, it would be bad press to decline this interview offer. They are the most prestigious interview program in the world. And they're from Kairut. The country is known for its neutrality. I don't think there will be too much pressure. Known for its neutrality, eh? So they got massive gold stores. I can handle it. You and your ideas. Let's get this over with. I hope so. In the hopes that he'll give me some advice, I'm gonna say I hope so, Lucian. And he might be like, okay, well, here's some pointers. So, I hope so, Lucian. God. Mr. Teabag. Oh, dear. This isn't going to go well. I can feel it. Yeah, no, same here. Same here. It's a common thing in history for the people that someone is trying to villainize, be accused of eating babies. Is it a common thing? I wouldn't be surprised, but is it actually relatively, like, commonly? Can you imagine, like, a presidential debate in, like, 1940-something? And my opponent is known to be eating babies. Crowd goes wild. You get that gif, that rap battle gif, where everyone's like, oh my god. I hope so, Lucian. I walked to the balcony and sat in the seat prepared for me, directly in front of Mr. Sacker. Thomas Sacker. Mr. President, welcome to One-on-One. What is this? Who wants to be a millionaire? Thank you so much for the opportunity to talk to you. Let's begin with the latest incident between Sordland and Roomberg. Holy crap, man. We're like on right away. Okay, I need a quick sip of water over here. Alright, let's see what we can do. Let's see if we can't swing this. Jazzy B out of 10. Oh. Oh my god. An aircraft of the Swedish Air Forces was shot down by Roombergian anti-air guns a few weeks ago. Officials from the Roombergian government proclaimed that the aircraft was flying inside the airspace of Roomberg. Your government has been silent apart from a few statements which claim that your plane was indeed in Swedish airspace when it was shot down. Do you believe the Roombergian forces initiated an intentional attack? Okay, this is more than I had expected, and I should have known this was coming. Okay. The Boona, thank you very much for subscribing. Neafer, thank you very much for subscribing. Warhawk, Adrian Art, Pushkal Nepal, thank you all very much for subscribing. Hope you're enjoying the show. Nina Weborg, oh, the floodgates have opened. Indeed, the floodgates have opened, it seems. I think that's all of it. But yes, again, the Boona, Neafer, Warhawk, Adrian Art, Pushkal Nepal, and Nina Weborg, thank you very much for subscribing. I do hope you're enjoying the show, whatever it is you're watching, whether it's this or something else. If you are watching this and having a good time, though, don't hesitate to hit that like button. We have over 50 people watching, but less than 20 likes. Having a bad time, folks? I'm sorry to hear that if that's the case, but if you're having a good time, let me know. It does make a big difference. Just lets me know what people want to see on the channel and what they don't want to see. Live streams, this. It's good to know. It's good to know. You gotta go, Nisarg. That's unfortunate, buddy, but hey, all good, man. Hope you had a good time. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your Friday, and I hope you're able to catch the VOD so you're all caught up for next time. Thanks for coming through, though. Oh, yeah, that's a good point, Wickles. That's fair. That's fair. Where Ivilo, yeah, I wish I could do that on international TV. That would be nice. It's like, yeah, she's a giant thorn in my... Yeah. We have reasons to believe that, yes, they're being increasingly aggressive over the last years. I don't want to think that they attacked us intentionally. It must have been a mistake. Is that even a question? Runeberg is a threat to the whole region, and this was an act of war. Oof. We have to take a diplomatic approach over here. Remember that we got to balance our statements here, because we want to make it very clear that Runeberg was/is at fault, but we need to make sure that we don't come across as warmongers. See, 3, and I knew it was going to come up. 3 seems like the way to go, and I'm tempted as well, but is it too aggressive? Is my concern. And I'm mulling over it. I'm probably going to go, I might go with 3. 1 is the more, like, diplomatic answer for sure. But that's... goddamn. 2 is not an option. No, 2 is not an option at all. 2 is not an option. 1 is one of those, like, they are becoming a problem. And it's like you let the world extrapolate. You let the world extrapolate. Whereas if we say this was an act of war... then the response is, well, then why didn't you retaliate? Oh, are you intending to gear up your war machine? Are you getting into position? Like, what's happening then? And obviously, like, I'm not going to answer those questions because they're military movements and secrets and all that kind of stuff, but those are the questions that are going to happen in people's minds, as opposed to, oh yeah, you're right, they are becoming increasingly aggressive. What should we do about the Runeberg situation? See, I would happily join the dark side if we had a military that could stand up against Runeberg, and we do not. We do not. Runeberg is dangerous. They're a genuine threat. A genuine threat. 2 is dangerous, Apples. Also, yes, hello to you. How's it going, buddy? 2 is 2 makes us look a little weak, I think. 2 makes it look like we're willing to forgive them. And we're pushovers, which we can't do either. We gotta strike that balance. And I think 1 is the way to go for that. Yeah. Like, the only reason we didn't gun their plane down is so that we could say 1. As opposed to, this was an act of war and we have retaliated. It looks like chat, y'all, mostly outside of a few folks who think 3 is the way to go. I think mostly we're on the same page with 1. Ease, if you would have taken my advice on funding the military, you would have had a force. Yeah, but I would also have a bunch of starving people paralyzed by polio without the education to even know what's going on. I decided to invest the money elsewhere, and I'm happy enough with where that money went. And we'll figure this out. We got allies. We'll be fine. Plus, we have that parade. Yeah. We're doing enough of our show of force in that way. I think 2 is a little too weak. I think the thing is, 2 would give the international community the impression that it was a border skirmish. Border skirmishes happen all the time. I know that's weird to hear, but even in the real world, border disputes happen fairly often. They don't often result in the death of a pilot or of a person, of any person in any, civilian, military, whatever. But you get border disputes that turn hot very often in certain parts of the world, where it's not just a matter of a farmer moving a stone 3 inches to the left or right? 2 makes it sound like this was just a, mistake completely. And then I don't want to go down that path of conversation. Now, we have reason to believe that, yes, they're being increasingly aggressive over the last years. If they die, they won't cost money. Oh my god. Talk about the uneducated polio suffering population that we would have had. Arrows cost money, the dead cost nothing. Yikes. Alright, we have reasons to believe that, yes, they're being increasingly aggressive over the last years. Does that mean there will be more hostilities on the horizon? I hope not. We are willing to do what it takes to not create a conflict. Okay, I can't say that for sure. We'll have to ask Queen Livingston herself. It's up to Runeberg to decide that for now. Ooh, okay, interesting. One of our allies is a drunk angel. No, we never allied with the drunkard. Remember that. The drunkard was being too aggressive in his trade negotiations, and we weren't going to bend over backwards for him. No. I really want to rewatch Braveheart now as well. I rewatched it middle of last year. It's still a fun movie. These are all reasonable options. Be petty, do 3. I see a couple calls for 3. I see a couple calls for 1. Natalie calling out. Marco. Oh, I think I missed a message. Oh, there's Marco. Hey guys, just lurking. First time here on stream. Well, hey, welcome. A warm welcome. Thanks for coming by. Hope you're having a good time, man. Hope you're having a good time. The drunkard is Peter Vectorn. Excuse me, I think you mean the drunkard was Peter Vectorn. I hope not. We're willing to do what it takes to not create a conflict is the diplomatic kind of a angle. Two is like a cheekier way of doing that, but it also implies that we're gearing up. If you really want to read between the lines, it's up to Roomberg is, I think, a bit weak. I think it might be like there's not enough edge to it. This we'll have to ask Queen Livingston herself. Put some pressure on them. I think 3 doesn't have any edge to it at all. Whereas 1, I think Jazzy B put it quite clearly. Yes, it implies our intentions, and I think that's what draws me to this so much more. We are willing to do what it takes to not create conflict. Lets the entire international community know that, hey, if war breaks out here, there's a good guy and a bad guy in this war. We're not going to be aligned with any of the superpowers. We have a few allies, but they're not powerful either. We need to appeal to the international community for a hope in hell. So I'm leaning towards that number 1. Does that mean there will be more hostilities in the horizon? I hope not. We're willing to do what it takes not to create it, not create a conflict. Maybe would be the better sentence structure. I don't know. Van, how's it going, Van20A? Finally the weekend? Always a fun thing to be able to say. Will the world see it that way? That's the question, isn't it? That's the question. We're gonna find out. Do you believe Queen Livingston shares the same sentiment? God, no. I hope she does. We're willing to work together to achieve peace in Eastern Maricopa. Again, apply that pressure. Unfortunately, I doubt that. She's been increasingly hostile against our country since I took office. I can't say that for sure. We'll have to ask the Queen herself. The way this is posed makes it sound like he has a TV, and he's gonna pull up, like when you say, yeah, let's run the clip. He's gonna pull up the TV, and it's gonna be a video interview, like a video call with the Queen. That's what it makes it sound like. I do wonder about 2. 1 feels like, God, diplomacy's pain. You gotta be nice to people you know are bad. You gotta be nice to people you know are terrible and have your worst intentions in their minds. It's a struggle. It's a struggle. Yes, Sant, we are indeed. It's gonna be problematic. Or it's gonna work out for us. We'll find out. 1, I hope she does. We're willing to work together to achieve peace in Eastern Maricopa, or unfortunately I doubt that. She's been increasingly hostile against our country since I took office. I don't think 3 is the way to go. I think 3 is a little too flimsy. Oh, I don't know is not an answer you want to hear from the president of a country that's potentially about to go to war. 1 definitely paints us like the good guys, yeah. 2 sounds a little bit like tattletaling to me. I think that's my reaction. Hey, option 4, exactly, Viola. Where's my option 4? In fact, Mr. Sacker, I just took this interview to use it as an opportunity to officially declare war on the nation of Roomberg. We will crush you underneath our boots. Semperius, how's it going? Perfect timing. Having a good day, I hope. Have a good week behind you, I hope. Glad you can make it. I think we're gonna go with 1, yeah. It's fun to see a lot of dissonance in the chat. But I think we're gonna go with 1. Do you believe Queen Livingston shares the same sentiment? Well, I hope she does. We're willing to work together to achieve peace in Eastern Maricopa. This week, both the Arcasian and United Contanan governments have condemned the airplane incident. Do you think they would be involved as mediators in the case of a broader conflict between your countries? Oh, damn. That's not even a question. They would surely get involved, but I don't know if as mediators. Now, that's a prodding statement. I hope so. We look up to the international community to maintain peace in all of Maricopa. Okay. Honestly, I don't expect much from them. 3 might be the truth, but 2... might be the political play there, where it's like we don't have to align ourselves, but the superpowers, they're going to get involved, right? I doubt they have much to gain from there being a full-out war in, again, the strategic location. I think this is also directly calling out the international community. If there was any doubt with our last couple of statements, this directly says, hey, international community, we all gotta work together. It's funny to see a couple of calls for the sarcastic prodding of the superpowers. No, war is not yet declared. No. It's a TV interview. Yeah. As Natalie P has me covered there. Thank you very much. War is inevitable. Yeah. 3 is a little waffly. Oh man, I could go for some waffles right now, actually. Goddamn. 3 is definitely not the. It's danger. 3 is going to upset both superpowers against us in one swoop, which is an impressive feat to say the least, but not a feat I'm looking to accomplish here. I think we look up to the international community to maintain peace in all of Maricopa. This conversation cannot become about what my opinion is about the superpowers. Like, if I say they would surely get involved, but I don't know if as mediators, if Mr. Sacker here goes, oh, interesting, you think they're going to take sides in a war if one were to break out? That's not the conversation I want to have. I don't want to talk about the superpowers decision-making. I want to talk about the international community. I want to talk about peace in Maricopa. I hope so. We look up to the international community to maintain peace in all of Maricopa. You've also earlier claimed that Roomberg has been spying on your administration, and the alleged spy was none other than your own secretary. Oh, here we go. Roomberg has since denied all your claims. He stared into my eyes, awaiting a response. We have all the evidence it was them. The world should know about Roomberg's interference in its neighbors. Of course they would deny it, however, Sordland knows the truth. And, question mark? Tempting. This conversation needs to hit the important issues. Waffles for the world. True that, man. True that. Oh, man. I could really go for some waffles right now. I'm tempted to do like, yeah, but I think it should be one. Do we have all the evidence? We threw her in jail, yes, based on a tape where she asks some questionable questions. Her claim is that she was hoping to get into a political career. We also have the fact that the person with her actual name and background was found dead. Sorry, Superius. Yeah, she did steal someone's identity. We do have the whistleblower's testimony. I think that's enough evidence. I think that's enough evidence. Jason. Yeah, I think we'll go with I'll go with evidence. I see chat is largely leaning towards that as well. I think we do have enough evidence. Now that I've considered everything. We have all the evidence it was them. The world should know about Roomberg's interference in its neighbors. The and question mark response is definitely tempting, but this is not the time to be sarcastic. This is a very serious accusation, Mr. President. Well, the scandal caused by that resulted in Mr. Vectron leaving his office. He was blamed, and you appointed a new vice president. Many claim that this was just an internal political move designed to eliminate the vice president. What do you have to say about these accusations? Wow. Yeah, what the hell, man. We've recently lost Mr. Vectron. I don't appreciate you asking me such a question. He was a friend of mine. Or, it's all nonsense. We have evidence she was working for Roomberg. Her real name was Ilana Vance. Or, I just laugh at these baseless accusations. I talked about this in detail in the past. You can check what I've said. Oh, calling out the reporter for not doing their research before the interview. That's a good way to have a goddamn slander piece written. Oh, no. That's this is where's that that gif from from Fury Road. That's bait. Nice try, game. Nice try. I'm curious too, Renke. I know. I really want to know what he would have responded with. I'm thinking. Oh man. That's true, Natalie. That's the thing is, see, I don't know if the game would have played it out like that. Because in the real world, I would totally have done that. Where I'd be like, "What's your point? Like, go on." It's the same thing as like explain the state. It's sort of like, okay, Mr. Reporter, I see what you're saying. Do you see the problem in the question you're asking? And the reporter then has to correct themselves. It is a good way to gain power in a conversation, and in like a negotiation, in any kind of conversation. Asking the other person to elaborate their stance is a great way to gain power. However, I did not know if that's how the game was going to play, and that was my concern there, Natalie. But you are very right. In real life, I would have totally gone with the and. 100%. The Slender Man, a horror story. Dude, on point. I think, like, okay, the question is now, see, do we... God, it's the 50s, right? As a politician, oh, God. As a politician in the 50s, one is potentially a display of weakness. You know? I'm emotional. He's too emotional. Remember, again, it's the 50s. So I wonder about that. Whereas I think I should stay the course and be like, it's all, you know, just maintain my stance and don't sidestep this. As much as it's a horrible question for him to ask, given the circumstances, I need to turn it into my advantage here. Calling the spy out by name seems like a power move for sure. Let's get that alpha status or whatever, right? It's all nonsense. We have evidence she was working for Roomberg. Her real name was Ilana Vance. I hear that, but my concern is, my concern is twofold. One, if the international community needs to hear, you know, a glimmer of that evidence, this is it, right? There's something for them to go on now, as opposed to me avoiding this is also a very serious accusation. Internal political moves. They're accusing not just me, but my vice president, who, let us not forget, is a homie. Let us also not forget, Peter Vector, you know, dude was a friend to our face, but he clearly, and it was only once on tape we caught him talking a lot of smack behind our back. Who knows what else he's been up to. With that said, though, I mean, yeah, of course, it's a garbage question to ask given the circumstances, but I have to talk about this as a politician, unfortunately. Unfortunately. It should hopefully, yes, put Roomberg on the back foot publicly. Yeah. This will hopefully give this guy, oh, that's a good point as well, Spindle. I didn't even think about that. A juicy story to report on, yeah. Don't you think you were partly to blame? She was your secretary. It was going on right under your nose, of course. Classic interviewer being an interview. I don't want to repeat myself here. I've already talked about this earlier. First, I'm not responsible for processing background checks. Second, it wasn't me who employed her. To some extent, yes, all of our administration shares responsibility for letting such a scandal take place. Here is where I can say, do your research, buddy. Peter was a mess. That's an understatement for real. Yeah, he was a mess, man. I wonder, John B, if 2 is the way to go, though. I'm not responsible for processing background checks. Who was? Well, I guess Peter was, which is part of the reason he's resigned. Yeah, okay, you know, fair. Who employed her? Yeah, it was Peter, and that's why he's not in the administration anymore. The conversation comes full circle. Jazzy B, I don't know about owning this particular situation. Oh, this is a tough one. This is a tough interview. I kind of lean towards 1. Because we have talked about this. I gave a press conference about this. He's a reporter. Yeah, I don't think I can be seen as passing the buck either. This is I think this one's between 1 and 3. Because while 2 is true, people don't know how my administration works. People don't know, and people might not necessarily think that either. You know, the people might disagree with our processes, and whatever, they're allowed to. But I need to be wary of that potential fallout, right? It's 1 or 3. It's 1 or 3. That's the other thing as well, Wickles. It just I can't even like. I'm annoyed that this guy has brought this up. Surely he knows what's going on. And part of me wants to shut it down because of that. It's like, yo, can we let this go for at least a couple of months, you know? No. Yeah, I'm going to take a bit of a risk over here, folks, because as always, you know, what's life without risks? I don't want to repeat myself here. I've already talked about this earlier. He didn't look like he was satisfied by my response. He stopped for a moment and took a brief look at his papers. Okay, let's return back to your foreign policy. Yes, let's keep this conversation political. No, I know he's from a neutral country, yeah, but I'm trying to not make myself look bad, but I also can't make my administration look bad, right? It's just like, if I make my entire government look incompetent, it's like, well, what else are you incompetent about? There's a lot of issues with saying, yeah, we are all partly responsible for hiring the wrong person here. And it's like, well, if you weren't able to do a proper background check on the president's secretary, what else have you not done a thorough job of? Have you done a thorough job of these accusations? Like, there's so many potential problems. Oh, classified. Oh my god. Alright, let's talk about the ongoing conflict about Helgeland Island. I'm so glad we didn't do this last session. I knew this was going to go, like, into, like, every potential issue that we've been dealing with. Volkslandian Navy has been increasingly active in the Markian Sea. As you know, they've been harassing Agnolian ships, and recently, Swordish ships as well. Yes, I'm painfully aware of that. I believe Sordland is committed to stand together with Agnolia. In fact, you have a military alliance with them. What do you think about Volksland's actions and their claims on the island? So I can either say Agnolia is the rightful owner of Helgeland. What Volksland is trying to do is against international law. Okay. It is very concerning. We can't have them harass other nations of the Markian Sea. The seas are not theirs to claim. I like 2 so far. I invite Chancellor Hegel to see reason. I believe the conflict can be resolved diplomatically. I like 3 as well. I'm thinking... Oh, damn. So... I'm thinking 3... is the way to go here. Jazzy B. 3 is obvious, so party will go with 2. I like 2. 2 is, it could go, I don't know. Let me think here. The only other person we'd end up appealing to with option 2 is Agnolia, and they're already our allies. 2 is definitely a bit more on the warmonger side, as opposed to have it be. It's a bit more jingoistic. I was reading it as like the seas are not theirs to claim, in the hopes that people would be like, yeah, he's right. But no, I think inviting Chancellor Hegel to see reason is the way to go. No, absolutely, Sant, absolutely. The more I use the word diplomatically, the better I'll look, I think. I invite Chancellor Hegel to see reason. I believe the conflict can be resolved diplomatically. But knowing how the press works, they'll take this quote and say, Anton Rain, talking about, quote-unquote, the conflict, etc., etc. God. Do you think the hostilities between Agnolia and Volksland can erupt into a hot war? Dude, it's already, kind of already there. Yes, as troublesome as it is very likely. It is definitely a possibility. Therefore, all nations of Eastern Rokopa should do their best to calm the situation. I think I like that. I don't think it would go that far. Both sides are able to see reason. Ooh. See, what makes this conversation so tough is that there are a couple of options that are diplomatic. Like, all 3 of these options are diplomatic options. But, especially between 2 and 3 over here, I think, saying both sides are able to see reason is like mediator talk, but it's also potentially, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? A little too naive, right? Whereas 2 is like being real. It's like, yes, this could happen, and that's why we need to get involved now. Like, this is... 2 is like a, yes, this is a problem, and 3 is like, nah, whatever, it's fine, it's fine. We don't have to pay attention to this. I think 2 is the way to go, because this is a problem. This is a problem. It is definitely a possibility. Therefore, all nations of Eastern Maricopa should do their best to calm the situation. Would Sordland also get involved if the situation gets out of control? I mean, they're our allies. The Swordish Armed Forces and the Swordish Navy is ready to act if our allies need us. As a peacekeeping force, yes, we can't let Marchian Sea turn into a war zone. I hope the situation won't come to that. No, Sordland has no intentions in intervening in other nations' conflicts. Ooh, well, this is a goddamn... Nordvin! How's it going, buddy? We'll watch it later, also because of the algorithm. I know how it is. It's disappointing seeing that people just spend about 1 or 2 minutes on your content when you made a 30-minute video. Yeah, man. But a lot of the time, you know, you can rest assured that people watch in parts, which is also cool, you know. And a lot of things skew those numbers a bit. It's important to take stats in stride, right? But I appreciate it, buddy. I appreciate it. Thanks for dropping by as well. Hope you're having a good day. And I do appreciate the sentiment. It really does mean a lot when people kind of take that stuff into consideration. I appreciate it. Undef, how's it going, buddy? A wizard is never late. See a lot of calls for 1. 1 is based. Avoid 4 if you want your ally. Yeah, no. 4 is a non-option here. 4 is a non-option. These are our allies. We will stand with them. And I think 1 is a strong message to send. 2 is in keeping with our desire to avoid conflict. This is tough, man. This is tough. 3 is, I think, again, like 3 is a non-answer. 3 is BS. 3 is like, I hope the situation won't come. It's like, thanks for the extremely helpful answer there. 1 is antagonizing. Yes, this is true. And Volsland is not only bigger than us; they're also allied with United Contana, right? They're with a superpower. Sorry, Joel says your allies will not help you. Go with 1. Are you saying if we go with option 2, our allies will be inclined not to help us? I think the implication of being a peacekeeping force is in favor of our allies, because they are the current de facto owners of the island. So, being a peacekeeping force in that sense, we would be on their side of the conflict still. Wayne 15. Hey, buddy. I noticed you chatting earlier, but I realized I didn't actually say hello. So, hello. I apologize for not saying it earlier. As a peacekeeping force, yes, we can't let Marchian Sea turn into a war zone. Man, this conversation, goddamn. Asher, this is a tough one. Okay, let's move on to another topic. He wishes to move on to another topic, I see. Last year, a huge conflict took place close to your borders with Welland. Listen, no comment. No comment. Let's leave. This is a good point, Joel. This is a good point. Do they have nukes? I thought the only nukes were in... Am I forgetting something? I thought the only nukes were by the NATO equivalent when they were firing nukes into the water. Yeah, exactly. We don't talk about Welland here. Oh, this isn't good. When the Wessex forces partook in a massacre of Bludish civilians under the guise of eliminating the Bludish Freedom Front, Sordland decided to watch the atrocities take place. In fact, you not only closed the borders to the refugees fleeing from a massacre, your border guards worked in cooperation with the Wessex forces. Will you accept responsibility of thousands of lives that were lost in Welland? Of course not. We had nothing to do with what went inside Welland. We only protected our borders, okay? It's true, we worked with Mr. Smolak, but I don't think anybody can blame Sordland for protecting its borders, or it breaks my heart to see so many people die in Welland. Could we have done something? Definitely, but the conflict had nothing to do with us. Okay. Hmm. Sant Gens, that option is unfortunately not on here. I feel like 1 might be... Oh, jeez. I think 1 is the way to go there. Because it maintains our support for Welland. It respects their sovereignty and asks that our sovereignty be respected. And I don't see Lesbia doing anything. I don't see Roomberg doing anything. They sat by idly. We protected our borders. Sant, I can see you losing your mind. I mean, look, if we go with 3, right? If we go with 3, we're losing the ally we do have. You know what I mean? 3 is we only care if it happens to us. Breaks my heart to see so many. Decisions. This is a tough one. This is a tough one. Absolutely Samperius. Trying to figure out... Focused on damage control. The thing is, though, like, look, this could cause us issues with our allies that we do have. And it's like, what's that quote? 1 in the bush, or 1 in the hand, 2 in the bush, right? No blame on Welland, just off of you. Oh, interesting. Huh. Oh, that's a good point. You know what? I didn't think about it that way. Yeah, say nothing. Let a single tear roll down from your eye, and let it be poetically silent. God, I wish that was an option 4. Tears for the missing waffles. Lesbia took the refugees. Listen, Thomas. I'm not here to listen to facts that cause me trouble, okay? Damn it, you're right, though. God damn. Yeah, that's a good point, Sant. God damn. See, with a real interview, you'd have your VP and stuff, and you'd be trained by a PR specialist asking all the tough questions, and you'd be a bit more prepared for this. Listen, Joel, it made sense at the time. It made sense at the time. Oh man, god damn it. You know what? I think, oh man, I gotta also figure out. The thing is, this conversation isn't just international. It's also, you know, within our own country. If I, oh god, I can't. I gotta think about all the Blutish people that I just, like, you know, gave amnesty to. Instigate them into separatism. Yeah, we needed that trade deal. Our economy was in the goddamn pits. So we needed that trade deal. And I know, it's such a scummy thing to say, but I guess that's how the cookie crumbles sometimes. I'm gonna go with this. I think I'm gonna go with it. Breaks my heart to see so many people die in Welland. Could we have done something? Definitely, but the conflict had nothing to do with it. God damn it. I'm legitimately not sure about this one. You know what? I'm legitimately not sure about this one. I think I'll go with 3. I think, God damn it. This sucks, man. This is a tough one. This is the toughest question we've been asked. This is the toughest question we've been asked. He's calling me a goddamn hippie. Oh, god damn it. I'm like, legitimately, I'm like, going with, I'm like, anxious about this one. It breaks my heart to see so many people die in Welland. Could we have done something? Definitely, but the conflict had nothing to do with us. If we lose our ally in Welland, well, I guess all hail the Queen for May 2-4 weekend. I wish I could, Wickles. Where's my option 4? Honestly, I wish I could. God damn it, we're doing it. It breaks my heart to see so many people die in Welland. Could we have done something? Definitely, but the conflict had nothing to do with us. Many have criticized Sordland for its role in this conflict. Do you not accept any of the criticisms? No, there's nothing wrong with protecting our country. Our role, really? Why don't you ask Mr. Smolak these questions? No, that's... Again, they are an ally. Sure, we could have helped the refugees, but then again, how do we distinguish civilians from militants? Oof. None of these are the right answer. I mean, honestly, one seems like the rightest answer. Gamer Kid, hey, how's it going, buddy? Funny thing I found, this is the easy bit of the interview. What? I guess you're not as emotionally racked about some of the decisions you've made in your prior prior parts of the campaign. How do we distinguish civilians from militants? Is such a I don't know, man. I don't know if that's a PC answer, you know? What did I say? Sorry, I mean PC like peace with a Y at the end of it, like a peacekeeping, pacifist. There we go. That's the real word. Coining my own goddamn phrases over here. I don't know if that's the pacifist thing to say. So how's it going, buddy? I'm good, man. Racked by guilt, I guess is what I am. Is how I am. How about you, man? Hope you're having a good day. 3 smacks of incompetence. That's just it. It's like, I mean, hey, there are ways to tell civilians from militants. It's also a very, it's a statement that can easily be skewed as problematic. No, there's nothing wrong with protecting our country. Hot damn. I mean, you can also consider Nordvin, I mean, like, they don't even need to bring weapons into the country because Roomberg is supplying them secretly from elsewhere. But, like, see, if I say three, they could very easily bring up, and thank you, Thomas, for reminding me, actually, because I had forgotten until you mentioned it. So thank you. My fact-checking jokes aside. But if we say 3, this guy could easily be like, right, but Lesbia took in refugees and they're doing okay. You know? I don't think 3 is an apologetic angle, Sam. There's no excusing it. You put in with a monster, and if you try and waffle now, you're just going to tick the monster off. Just take your medicine. Go with 3. That's why I think 1 is going, quote unquote, you know, taking the medicine, so to speak. I guess that's where my conflict is. You know, it's just like... you know what? I know it's gonna upset at least some of y'all, but that's how these games play out. I think I'm gonna go with... I think I'm gonna go with 1. I think 1 is the most ideal answer, because again, 3 they might compare us to Lesbia, and there's an angle of incompetence there, of like we can't do our job properly, right? 1 kind of loops back to the conversation about Roomberg as well a little bit. 2 is a non-option. That's just stabbing our ally in the back. So we're gonna go with 1. Yeah, I stand by my decision, exactly. Yeah, no, there's nothing wrong with protecting our country. Plus, it'll play well for the elections. Holy crap, man! That was the toughest question so far, I think. You could have, on the gesture of the director, he stopped before finishing his sentence. Oh, well, it seems that's all the time we have for today. The director shouted at the crew to stop recording. We both stood up and shook hands. Thank you for your valuable time, Mr. President. It was a pleasure. Oh, I can't say the same. Hopefully next time we'll meet again in Kairut. Likewise. I'm kind of torn between 1 and 4. 2 is good too, I guess. I guess 1 is a bit of a fake answer. Yeah, likewise. Yeah, me too. So maybe it's between 2 and 4. Hopefully next time we'll meet again in Kairut. I enjoyed it very much. Thank you for coming to Sordland. 3 is honest. Yeah, I'm not about to be honest with him to slander me. was a pleasure. Just go with what flows. 1 is polite and neutral. 1, 3. Yeah, 3 is tempting, isn't it? Alright, go with what flows. I know that I would probably actually say likewise. Likewise, Mr. Sacker. Sure. And it's 100% what's called small talk pleasantries, but so is what he said. It was a pleasure. No, it wasn't. Don't BS me. Come on. I hope to interview you again in the future, he says. Okay. Lucien walked up to the director and started talking to him. I went inside the building. Hot damn. That was probably, yeah, you're probably right. I think that was the longest we have been involved in a single event. Oof. That was rough. That took longer than some of our family events. 2 is a lie, he says. B-Store yeah, I suppose. Cairo would have been okay as well, I think. Yeah, that's where the TV is, the show is from, yeah. That news for real, man. Oh my god. Oh my god. WPB leader poisoned. Oh, damn. Leader of the Workers' Party of Bludia, Fethi Ejal. Oh, this happened previously. Was poisoned by a nerve agent and was hospitalized in a serious condition. During his trip to Sarna to deliver a speech for his campaign, he suddenly became ill and was immediately taken to a hospital in the city. This happened last time, didn't it? Or was that the other Bludish party? Over at Dare, Bludish opinion high. For the first time in Sordish history, the Bludish people have come out in support of the sitting president. Oh, hell yeah! Following President Rain's attendance of the Ashraf anniversary, sentiment for the president in Dare has been incredibly high. Earning the Bludish vote in the upcoming election may be crucial for re-election. Okay, alright. No, yeah, the dude is just doing his job. From a neutral perspective, he did well. From our biased perspective, it's like, yo, lay off, man. My best friend just died. Yeah, y'all poking at the wrong bear here. Oh, we'll read the news as well, fear not. Just want to do all the reports first. Following a brief visit to Lackhaven, there has been an outcry against President Rain, with protests feared to be imminent. The city is deeply unhappy with the president's choices, and there have already been some calls for Rain's resignation. Hey, how about you dive off a cliff? Why can't you be more like the people over at Dare? Huh? I gave you a highway. Alright, Hullsword, what's up? Mansoon might return to WPB to fill Ejal's role. According to reports from the capital, due to the serious condition of Ejal, the leadership of the Workers' Party of Bludia held an emergency meeting in their party headquarters in Hullsword to appoint a new leader as a presidential candidate. After the meeting, the party invited Mansoon Leek to their headquarters. Fair enough, that'll be an interesting turn of events. He was so gracious and grateful, and now he's going to turn around and campaign against us. I imagine that's going to be a fun turn of events. Alright, time to look at the news. Yeah, I mean, some people are boarding the Rain train, but I guess that train doesn't make a stop at Lackhaven. Jeez. Lackhaven is no haven for the Rain train. You could say the feeling of it being a haven is lacking. Oh my god, Natalie, you may have given them a highway, but they chose the low road. I love it. I love it. Now, Thomas, the Bloods being in support of us is contradictory to your statement there. Isn't Leek the independent? He was. That's a good point. On the wrong screen here. Yeah, he's the leader of the independents. So I guess he's gonna... Okay, fair enough. Alright, that's fine then, No change in tone from him. That's my bad. Okay, almost everybody has something to say, except for geopolitical. I would expect them to say something about this. I was expecting something from geopolitical, but the economists are back at it again. Sordland economy stagnates in mud. Hey, go. God damn it, man. Ever since, you can't even write. You shouldn't be a newspaper. You don't know how to write. How can we trust your news? Even since President Rain entered the Maroon Palace, nothing has changed. We are still where we are at the moment. Wow, they really can't write. Was this a guest writer? We are still where we were the moment we nominated him. In an economic depression where businesses are closing left and right, investors chased away over our lack of response to economic... Is this a poem? Either the president lacks the competency of a leader, or pleasures himself on the suffering of others. Okay, that's a funny line. It is inconceivable to assume the latter, and a complete disappointment to the former. Whichever way, a new president will replace him in the next election. I mean, I guess I'd rather my economy be stuck in the mud than be in a landslide, right? It's a coded ransom note. They have my daughter. Oh, no. The Radical has this to say. Raynomics improve living standards. Okay, I'm having an entire economic movement named after me. Fair enough. At the end of his term, President Rain has brought more changes to Sordland than ever. Albeit not all are positive. Yet, the situation with Sordland's living standards has increased. Based on new research, Sordish citizens' life expectancy is at its highest in history. The president's policies have given every person the same economic opportunities to strive forward. It is the most excellent news for any Sordish resident since the forming of the Republic. All right. We're making it rain for everybody. Rain administration resorts to MFI loans to resolve the mess he made. Well, yo, what is this? Like, what is this switch that's flipping here? To resolve the mess he made, the president has requested more than 3 million Sordish Ren from the MFI, and he aimed to cover up his incompetence. As he aimed to cover up his incompetence, he has placed Sordland under the thumbs of others. How long before he sells our beloved Sordland to others? Listen, man. More of this, less of this. Marcus, how's it go, buddy? I'm good, man. I'm good. Having a good Friday, I hope. Had a good week behind you, I hope. Glad to see you make it in today. Yeah, it's true. It's true, Jazzy. We stopped the rot, but no more. Yeah, honestly, Avilo, the economists can truly, very truly, just go and hang themselves. Lackhaven Times. Sordland reliant on foreign aid. Earlier this week, the administration announced that it will be borrowing 3 million Ren from the MFI. The move aimed to solve the ongoing budget problem. However, citizens from both the Liberal and Conservatives factions have denounced the move. This is a high-risk decision from the president since the election is closing in. Yeah, denounce me all you want. Do you want bread on your table? Or do you want to wait in line? Come on. Mansoon Leak is back at the WPB. 2 weeks after Ijal was poisoned, the Workers' Party of Bludia announced that Mansoon Leak rejoined the party again to assume the leadership position. The party released a statement saying that Ijal's condition is currently stable, but his recovery will take a long time. We invited back our previous leader, Leak, back to lead us to the assembly, and he was very gracious to accept our offer, said the WPB spokesperson. It is unclear if the rising trend of the WPB will continue with Leak's leadership. All right. Oh yeah, the Radical is definitely the biggest. Like they are. The Radical is the precursor to news, like to online news headlines. All right, the Hallsword Post. Go on, burn me. Sordland dependent on foreign help. After decades of being a strong and proud nation, President Anton Rain has driven the country to be a shell of what it used to be. Our hard-fought republic now relies on the mercy of others to survive. Due to his incompetence, Mr. Rain has requested 3 million Sordish Ren from outsiders. Because of this, Sordland stands to do their bidding and call like a lapdog, whose interests are only on their own. I mean, yeah, let's not talk about literal superpowers who also rely on, loans from foreign entities. At least we took money from the IMF, not from a foreign nation. The Hallsword Post would have us, out there licking the boots of Arcasia or United Contana. Yeah, Sean, we're still alive. We're still alive. And you want bread on your table? New merch? Oh, God. Once the Radical said Rain desalinization, and up it said Rain the puppet of the Arcasians. Yeah. These guys, they flipped their... They changed their mind. What's the lyrics of that song again? They're up and they're down. Oh man, I don't remember that song at all. That's kind of wild. Anyway, the Workers' Party announces Leak as a replacement for Ijal. The Workers' Party of Bludia announced the independent MP and the previous leader of the WPB, Mansoon Leak, to be their replacement for Fethi Ijal. All over the place here. In a public speech, Leak said, "I left the party on my own volition after failing to pass the threshold years ago. I never expected to be here again. Unfortunately, Fethi Ijal was targeted by ultra-nationalists, and I was asked to replace him during this tumultuous time. I'm grateful to every Workers' Party member for welcoming me back with such open arms. Rest assured, I will do my very best to serve this honorable task given to me, and will not let Ijal down." That's the one, Renke. Yeah, that's the one. I can't remember the lyrics enough. Yes, Wickles. Yes, I am. Beloaning, not bemoaning. Dude, K. Percy, what? That's amazing. Oh, I love it. Alright, what's going on at Antel Rock Prison? A private meeting with Lilius Graf. Oh, okay. Alright. Marcus, row is pretty good. Going to end up around 50 hours for the week. Yikes. Overtime? That's good. At least overtime's a thing. That's good. Happy for Friday and the weekend. That's good. Glad to hear it, man. Glad to hear it. I hope it's a good one. Fizz George. Just got off work? Yeah, still going, buddy. Still going. Still alive. Still leading the nation. Hopefully that continues. How's it going, buddy? Ease, quoting Katy Perry is nearly worth a damn downvote. Yeah, man. Only one of the most common top 40 songs playing in the radio literally everywhere when I was in, university. Yeah, definitely not going to be something that stays in my head for the rest of my life. All right, let's go ahead and, I don't know, what is this conversation even about? Sounds good, Omkar J. I guess you're headed out. I think I might have missed your message if you said you're headed out, but if you are, then thanks for coming through today. Have yourself a wonderful, wonderful rest of the day. And, yeah, thanks for dropping by. Let's go. Let's do this. The thrum of the helicopter engine, the first of its kind in Sordland, was deafening as we touched down on the landing pad of Antel Rock Prison. I stepped out, bracing. I'm sorry, I just saw Wiggles. It's still horrible. Listen, man, it's stuck in my head. There's nothing I can do about it, okay? I'm not saying it's a good thing. I'm just saying it comes to mind. I stepped out, bracing myself against the salty winds. The noise of the helicopter was replaced by the squawking of seabirds and waves furiously crashing on the jagged rocks below. Flanked by my guards, I walked into Antel Rock Prison. I gotta rewatch The Rock, man, every time it comes up. 1950s helicopters, brave. A team of security personnel led me through the winding corridors on the ground floor. Passing by the rows of cells, I wondered how Livia was doing. Did I? Quote Taylor Swift and I'll give you 2 likes. I mean, geez, we got all these people hating on Katy Perry. I think the Taylor Swift quote there writes itself. Have I played Hearts of Iron? I have not. I've played all of 14 minutes of Hearts of Iron 4. I don't know, it just didn't click with me for some reason. I see people loving that game, and I wish I could love it also, but it hasn't quite landed with me. But what is that mod? What's the focus of that mod? I'm curious. First rule of helicopter airmanship: you don't exit the heli with spinning rotors, don't you? Because then you get like your hair flying and your clothes flying, and you look really cool. That's how Hollywood does it, so it's got to be true. All right, passing by the rows of cells, I wondered how Livia was doing, but that wasn't who I was here to see. Yeah, why is he wondering about Liv? Yeah, sus indeed. At the back of the building, we came to an elevator. The guards punched in a code, and we rode all the way to the top floor of the prison. The top floor? Nah, give her a basement cell. Lilius had a corner cell, sounds so luxurious, with large windows overlooking the seaside. Yo, what the hell is this? It was equipped with a comfortable-looking bed and a modest writing desk. This is like when, when the mafia gets sent to jail in one of those, like, Scorsese films. It's like they'd rather be in prison, Which one am I thinking about? When they're making pasta in prison? That's what this sounds like, man. What the hell? She appeared to be busy writing letters as the guards opened the door to the room. Busy writing letters. Stop writing at once and speak to me. Oh, I'm not gonna give her the opportunity to be like, no. that makes me look like quite the chump. Get her in the oubliette, exactly. I certainly wish to oublier her. I'm not sure why we're here speaking to her. I feel like hello Lilius is a nice ominous greeting. I've had my eye on that ease. Yeah. Let me know how that is. Might catch that this weekend. Keep calm. You may need one cell depending on the ending. Oh man. If I need a cell for myself, that would be a good ending. Who is she writing to? I'm curious. I don't think she'll tell me. Let's say hello. Hello, Lilius. I worry that her response to this will be like none of your concern, and that'll be it, whereas I might be able to bring it up later. Classified. Was it Goodfellas? Yeah, I wasn't sure which one it was. Let's go with hello, Lilius. Mr. President, What brings you all this way? Why did you kill Bernard Circus? You spent my entire term trying to undermine me. Why? Who was really behind the Circus assassination? Oh, Jesus. Not really a conversation I was looking to have. Renge, I'm just being real, man. If we survive all the way to being thrown in a jail cell, that'll be a good ending compared to what I'm expecting. Oh my God, Simperius, bringing back the belt jokes from session 1. No, Santa. I'm just I look at chat as well. Maybe I should just ignore chat. Maybe that people would be happier about that. No. You spent my entire term trying to undermine me. Why? I think we know the answer to this question. Okay, Michael T. I'll check it out. Maybe that'll get me into the game. Thanks for bringing that to my attention. Millennium Dawn, you said, right? I'll keep an eye out for it. I thought you already knew the answer to that. I and my colleagues judged you to be a threat to Sordland. From the start of your term, we felt you were putting the country at risk of succumbing to outside influence. Obviously, we were right. As I tried to tell you many times when we were working together, Sordland is not united Contena. Your heedless shift towards millennialism will bring only chaos. The Swordish people want to change. You can't just disregard their will. The people don't always know best. They knew enough to vote me in, and I knew enough to force you out. You're going to regret that. Sordland without Solism is a ship without a rudder. So like a spaceship? The very future? Have you always been Saul's puppet, or just since you entered my cabinet? I like it. To hell with Saul and to hell with you. Is that who those letters are for? Your beloved Tarkin Saul? Ooh. Spicy. Okay. 1 or 3. 1 or 3. Yeah, David. Yeah, it was Goodfellas, right? Yeah. I gotta rewatch Goodfellas. Man, that's such a good movie. I'm just gonna... one day I'm gonna marathon all the Scorsese mobster films. And then I gotta watch My Cousin Vinny. My Cousin Vinny? That's what it's called, right? Can't go on a... can't watch... oh, his name is escaping my mind right now. Holy crap. Funny how? Funny like a clown? Oh, I can't remember his name. What the hell? Love the guy. Classified coming through with that super chat. This sounds like you're talking directly to chat. Why are you working? We're working to ruin me? Classified, thank you very much, buddy, for that super chat. As always, as you very well know, really helps these streams, really helps the channel. I appreciate it greatly. That kind of support keeps us going. Thank you very much, man. Joe Pesci, thank you. That was killing me, man. I was like, I know his name. Why is it slipping my mind right now? Joe Pesci. If you haven't seen My Cousin Vinny, watch My Cousin Vinny. I'm thinking 1 or 3. I'm seeing a lot of calls for 3, a couple calls for 2, a couple calls for 1. I'm leaning towards 3. Is that who those letters are for? Your beloved Tarkin Soul? Oh, God. Little, what's it called? Aggressive, I guess. I know what you're implying. I'm not implying anything. Liz drew herself up, her back straight as a rod. It's because she's got one up her. Tarkin Saul is a great man, with whom I share many ideals, but my decisions have always been mine own, including the decision to sacrifice one man's life to save millions of Swordish people. Holy crap, man, you're really doubling down, Lilius. You're a monster. I say after defending my my blind eye towards genocide at the border on international TV. I thought you religious freaks were against playing God. That decision wasn't yours to make. Save them from what, Lilius? Save them from what, Lilius? Take a look at shower here. Oh, yeah, for sure. Her nice cell just means she's still pulling some strings here and there. And the administration still has love for the old guard, for sure. Lilia's face darkened. Oh. You'll see. Sooner or later, the people will realize that Saul was the best leader they'll ever have. Take this woman's pens and papers away. They're too dangerous to have lying around. or I've had enough of this, I'm leaving. I mean, honestly, I am genuinely shocked that she's allowed to retain contact with the outside world. Like, let's be real here for a second. She, inmate 64498, she was responsible for the assassination of a poet and political figure. Allowing her to maintain contact with shady figures, like, what are you thinking? What are you doing? This prison, maximum security? Man, what the hell? No, take this woman's pens and papers away. They're too dangerous to have lying around. She's in jail. Take away her bed as well, for all I care. She's in jail for, like, a very serious thing. Like, he wasn't, like, caught jaywalking or whatever the hell. That's a good point, Jazzy. If she got him once before, she'll get him again. But, I mean, prisoners are allowed pens and papers and stuff. Like, you're allowed to have those. I mean, actually, depending on the level of security and what you're in for, I suppose. If you go to jail for murdering somebody with a pen, I doubt you're allowed to have a pen. But I think it's a unique scenario. Why not put the prison in the Maroon Palace? Just like in the dungeon, have a little trap door that opens up. Even though she's a dirtbag, she maybe has some rights. She has rights, yes, but if she's using those rights for nefarious purposes, then, then pens are a luxury. The guards moved in and roughly grabbed Lilia's writing materials off her desk. She looked unfazed. Of course, she's already got everything out there. Thanks for the visit, Mr. President. I'm sure this isn't the last we'll see of each other. I should have her hung. The guards relocked her cell door and escorted me away. You can kill somebody with paper. It beats rock. Hey, man. Death by 1,000 paper cuts, you know. On the way back to Hallsword, I couldn't help thinking about what she said. How would I be remembered? The true question is, will I be remembered? I think so. We've made some big moves. The military parade. Ah, beautiful. At Victory Avenue at the Hallsword City Center. Nice. Oh my god, John B. No, I don't want her closer to me. I want further away from me. The pen is mightier than the sword. I love that one. Paper beats rock on Antel Rock Prison. Oh, crap. It was an unusual day for the residents of Hallsword. I should check the news. My apologies. We'll check it afterwards. Regularly used streets and avenues were blocked off by the military personnel. Many shops and cafes were closed, and once crowded stores were now empty. Instead, thousands of residents in Hallsword were concentrated in one street, Victory Avenue. I hope this does something for morale across the nation. Stretching out through the heart of Hallsword, people on both sides of the road were waving their swordish flags proudly for the military parade. I was getting prepared to embark on my trip. It was going to be a short drive down the Victory Avenue until we reached Maroon Palace. My company for this trip was Yosef with Serge, as usual, driving the presidential car. Okay, driving with Yosef, this is going to get interesting. The pen can draw blood too. Amazing. Oh, Sandgens, fun fact, the worst end to be remembered is as Monica's husband. I mean, I guess that means at least she's accomplished something. If not I, then at least she. Here we go, says Thomas. Oh no. Yo, that phrase, here we go, has become such a trauma, like a warning for trauma for me. Yosef approached me. He was wearing his decorated ceremony outfit. He carried a sword with a goat head on the handle and his pistol by his hip. He put on his cap. Seems quite regal. I like it. Mr. President, we're almost ready. We will depart right after the tank column. You know, I'm glad we decided to do this, not just because everybody was for it, but also because it gives us an opportunity to really see eye to eye with Artaud. I mean, let's be real, right? He's our Minister of Defense. We shouldn't be butting heads. And I really hope this does something for our relationship. It's been on the mend. It's been improving. So I really hope this helps. Yeah, Roomberg will think twice after today. I'm trying to hype you up, Yosef. Yes! They will tremble before the Swordish military might. I love it. Yeah, hell yeah, baby. That's what I'm talking about. It's exactly what I was hoping for. After hearing the loud thump of a book falling down to the floor, he turned to a couple privates that were doing the preparations on the schedule and started walking in their direction. Private! Can't you do your job properly? I watched the young soldiers perform a lousy salute to Yosef. What is that salute, soldier? Watch! This is a real salute! He performed an excellent salute, and after scolding the privates, he walked back. What the hell, man? Doesn't give me much confidence that our soldiers do not even know how to properly salute. Oh. Man. Yeah, Yosef was our commander when we were in the military. This is definitely an interesting turn of roles, I suppose. He still got it? Yeah, he does. I don't necessarily want... Like, I don't want to be, like, strict as ever. Is that friendly? I guess that's friendly, right? Because, yeah, he was my CO, right? And I did annoy him in the past. Okay, fine. Let's try this. I don't... That's the thing. I'm not sure if it's insulting, Saketh. It's cheeky. I don't think it's insulting. I think 2 is insulting because it means that he's done a poor job of training our soldiers. I think 1 might actually be a compliment to a CO. Yeah, exactly, Sant. Yeah. Strict as ever. Old habits die hard. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, that's exactly what I was... The characterization in this game is very good. Like, I was expecting him to take it well. Or, I don't know if this is well or not, but that's how I expected him to take it, and that's how it went. Serge appeared from the entrance and joined us. Mr. President, Mr. Lancea. Serge performed a salute to Yosef, which made Yosef smile under his mustache. At ease, Mr. Walkner. Are we ready to depart yet? Yes, sir. Follow me, please. We started following Serge through the corridors. Mr. President, have you seen the tanks? Our planes, too? Roomberg will be so scared when they see this. That is the plan. Let's go with that as the plan. I feel like, yes, Serge, I've seen it, is kind of dismissive. It's like, yeah, I seen it. I sure hope so is kind of weak. So I think that is the plan. Yosef is the typical drill sergeant. He wasn't in the wrong either. A flimsy salute at like just before a military parade. That's kind of, I'm sorry, that's your problem. Cheeky with the military. Yeah, man, get cheeky with everybody. Bad salute should get yelled at. One thing in a movie that makes my eyes roll when I see a bad salutes from actors, honestly, is just like, can you not get training for a proper salute? Like, for one of the most common roles probably in Hollywood? I don't know. Yeah. Salutes are important, That is the plan. A great one, I'd say. My kids were very excited to wake up today, to see the planes fly. Serge, where do you do your military service? Morna, 7th Artillery Squadron. I still talk with many of my friends from those days. Camaraderie of military is never forgotten. I still talk with many from my days as well. Hey, like me. What about you, sir? All over Sordland. Mr. President was under my command once. Gumran Outpost. He turned to me. Oh no. Do you remember those days? Yes, I do. Who can forget about Major Lancea? We called him the Relentless. Yosef let out a long laugh. Good old days. I also remember Mr. President did not like to execute direct orders from his superiors. Oh, god damn it. Let's cut the chit-chat and do what we're here to do. I mean, I'm going to say it's in the past now. I did what needed to be done means, like, that's asking for trouble. That's asking for trouble. So, it's in the past now. Let's move on. Let's move on. Mayhem 343, how's it go, buddy? Glad you can make it today. Serge, Yosef, and Rain, a mighty trio of mustaches. That's so true. That is so true. I didn't even realize that we all, yeah. Matching mustaches, almost. Yosef has to make his a little bit wider, and then we'd be basically matching mustaches. It's in the past now. Let's move on. True. Yeah, there we go. We're here, sir. We exited the building and walked over to the clearance where the black Cadillac, the presidential car, was waiting. It was decorated properly for the event, and the top canopy had been removed so that we could stand and wave to people. Oh no. On the way to the car, generals and admirals were lined up on both sides of the carpet. The atmosphere immediately changed when these experienced men who fought many times for their country saluted me. I saluted back with respect. We entered the car, and Serge started the engine. Yosef was standing right next to me. The car started rolling. Even though there were many walls and trees in between the car and the crowd, I was able to hear the deafening sounds of cheering Sordish citizens. Gradually, we made our way to the starting point. I feel like we're turning things around. No, Saketh, we don't talk about the removed top canopy. A couple of old propeller planes flew above our heads, and I thought whether the planes were older than me. Loud footsteps of the marching soldiers were followed by loud noises coming from tank engines. The tanks came into my view. They were not the most modern models, however, they displayed our military might. I couldn't even finish my thought, and one of the tanks broke down and had to be towed. Oof. This was one of my concerns with the military parade. Because we haven't modernized our equipment, we're in the middle of it. We waited for a few minutes for the announcement. Finally, it was our turn. On both sides of the Victory Avenue, there were numerous citizens cheering my name, waving their Sordish flags, completely unperturbed by the tank. See, look, the tank breaking down was all part of the parade. We're showing no tank is left behind. Look at the strength of our tow trucks to be able to pull a tank around. Even when immobilized, our tanks stay mobile. It's all part of the plan. All part of the plan. Don't worry about it, folks. It's a military parade. Let us salute. Yeah, oof, I saluted. Looking at the benches where the general staff were sitting at, I saw Tarkin Sol sitting next to General Vulcan. That's a problem. We kept our slow and steady pace. We're almost at the Arthur S. Whiskey statue several hundred meters away. A group of soldiers saluted me as we passed by. They looked proud and stout in the new infantry uniforms and with brand new rifles. That's where the money's going? Into uniforms? We continued on as per the schedule and finally arrived at the Maroon Palace, which marked the end of the parade. People of Hallsort dispersed to their homes. A clear message was sent to Roomburg by the display of our military might. We were about to see whether it would be enough or not. I don't know about that broken down tank. Oh, the big continue button. All right, what's the news got to say? I should have checked this first. My apologies. Sordland today. Shocker. Graf found guilty of treason and jailed. Government goings-on got a whole lot more interesting as Interior Minister Lilius Graf, one of Sordland's most prominent conservatives, whose support is widely thought to have gotten President Rain elected, was thrown in jail for co-conspiring to assassinate author and MP Bernard Serkis at the start of Rain's term. An investigation by the Anti-Corruption Police, a new task force founded by Rain and headed up by Justice Minister Nia Morgna, revealed Graf's role in the plot. She has been sentenced to life in prison, in Antel Rock Prison. Who in the Rain administration will be next to go? President visits ex-Minister Graf in prison. What was behind President Rain's visit to former Interior Minister Lilius Graf in Antel Rock Prison? Shortly after Rain and his anti-corruption police unfairly jailed Miss Graf in the assassination of notorious communist Bernard Serkis, the president made a personal helicopter trip to Antel Rock in order to visit her cell. Was it to question her further, cut a deal with her for early release, or simply rub salt in her wounds? Only one thing is for certain. Following this development, our president cannot be trusted. I really don't know why we went to visit her. I'll be honest. I kind of disagree with that decision. I don't think it's one I would have made. I don't think it's one Anton would have made. But hey, it is what it is. And we're going to have to see how it goes. Daruk, how's it going, buddy? Having a good day, I hope. Just woke up. Thanks for coming through. Cut to the Queen laughing. Renke, yeah, honestly, that tank, we could have done without that tank. But hey, that military parade was important for our morale, and it looks like it worked. People were unperturbed by by our show of tow truck strength. It's important. BM, how's it going, buddy? Glad you can make it. Good morning, good morning. Thomas, coming through with that super chat. Thank you very much, buddy. Well done. My parade was much more bloody. You can do it. Whoa, okay, interesting. Man, this game's got so much up its sleeve. I didn't even realize that that could have gone too differently. That's wild. Thank Thank you very much, Thomas, so for that super chat again. And as always, it really helps the channel, really helps these streams. It literally keeps it all going and keeps it all sustainable. I appreciate it greatly. But that's wild. I'm curious what drove your parade to be bloody. Hot damn. Okay. Oh, I guess it's time for the next turn, though. Will of the State. These chapter headings have been great. Will of the State. I guess this is the election. That's what that would kind of imply. This is the turn where the election happens. Are we in turn 10 already? I guess, yeah. We're in turn 10. I would assume turn 10 is the last turn. It would be kind of like a nice round number. Already some news to read. One event at Hallsword. All right, what does the news have to say? Turn 10 of 10? Oh dear. Here we go indeed. Here we go indeed. Oh, that's awesome, BM. I'm glad to hear that. Leaving in about 40 minutes? Sounds good. I hear the second one is more like to kind of knock you out. You get tired and stuff. So I hope you've got all your snacks and stuff in place and you're able to rest up this weekend. But that's awesome, man. I'm happy for you. I'm happy for you. Oh, Geopolitico. World leaders to gather at Alliance of Nations. Oh. Calling for a session on the current affairs, world leaders will be gathering at Alliance of Nations next week. The main highlights from the upcoming agenda were announced, and as expected, they will be around the current issues in Eastern Mercopa. In addition to the member states from the region, President Walker and Chairman Maleniev will be delivering their speeches at the Assembly. All eyes will turn to Constantium Kairut, as the historic session will be taking place in the Alliance of Nations headquarters. Okay, so Kairut is 100% Switzerland then. Not only is it quote-unquote neutral, but it's also where the AON headquarters, the UN equivalent's headquarters are. Come on. Holy crap, Ranke. Slept for 24 hours straight after your second dose? Wild. The first one made me feel very sleepy. I'm expected to be on... Yeah, hey, I'm the same as you, BM. I'm the same as you based on your first shot conversation there. It affects everyone a little differently, yeah. I know some people who haven't felt anything. My parents, both 60 plus, had both their shots. They felt nothing. They were just like, yeah, whatever. Okay, let's read the report from Hallsword over here. Schedule for the Alliance of Nations session. We received the schedule for the upcoming Alliance of Nations session. According to the dates outlined, Sordland 1 is being prepared for the flights to Constantium Kairut. Minister of Foreign Affairs David Whiskey will be attending the session as well as accompanying Mr. President on the flight. Cool. Let's go ahead and take that flight. On Sordland 1, the flight to Kairut. I feel like we're so close. If this is the end game, I really hope we recover, man. Oh, this music tells me we're not going to recover. I, David Whiskey, and the rest of the Swordish delegation to the Alliance of Nations arrived in Kairut. The local police escorted us to the Alliance's headquarters in downtown Constantium, immediately recognizable by its gleaming dome. On entering the building, we were met with a parliamentary guide who briefed us about the procedures. After a strict security screening, the staff ushered us to the third floor. We entered the massive circular assembly hall and took our designated seats. David sat next to me. Man, I was expecting the conversation in the flight. I wasn't expecting the actual, oh, hot damn. All of the world's most powerful people under one gleaming dome. It's amazing how someone has managed to fill a room with people that absolutely loathe each other. No. One wrong word, and the world will go to hell. High pressure, I know. Just believe in yourself, Anton. From what I have seen, you will do just fine. How are you feeling, Anton? Ever since what happened to Peter, I'm amazed that you've been holding up so well. I've seen you two hanging around all the time in university. We knew changing Sordland is hard, but we could never expect it to be this way. I managed somehow. He's been more of a friend to me than I could ever have been to him. I wish I'd done more to help him. He was a true friend. I hope he's in a better place now. Sounds good, Wickles. Well, thanks for coming through today. Hope all is well. I hope you have yourself a wonderful, wonderful Friday, and I will catch you in the Discord, I hope, this weekend. But do have yourself a wonderful rest of the day if you're not back in time for the stream to be done. Thanks for coming through today again. Jazzy B, yeah, here we go indeed, it seems. Oh, dear. Okay. We knew changing Sordland is hard, but we could never expect it to be this way. Yeah. Yeah. It is tough to be the president, making harsh decisions and dealing with their consequences. I wish I could have supported you more, but time has been a cruel mistress. What you've done so far is more than enough. Don't treat yourself so harshly. For what it's worth, I appreciate all the advice you've given me. Don't worry about it. Your advice wasn't that good anyway. Oh my god. When this game wants to burn somebody, it really goes all the way. No, what you have done so far is more than enough. Don't treat yourself so harshly. This man has been very good to us. His policies, his opinions, his suggestions have all been great. And I have nothing but compliments for him. Could he have done better? Sure, but we all could have. From the distance, you could see the President of the General Assembly, Mr. Nines, approaching his designated position. That's a Bond villain name. Well, the session is about to start. Let's get comfortable. It's going to be a long day. Mr. Nines opened the session with a short speech and called the first speaker to the floor. It is my great pleasure to invite Prime Minister of Lesbia to address the assembly. Patricio Alvarez stood and walked up to the podium, wow, as the assembly applauded. Stood and podium, they're just blending in my mind. Mr. President, it is my pleasure to return to this podium. David leaned in and spoke in a low voice. Let's see how crazy this year's session will get. I'm surprised he isn't drunk. David chuckled. When I last spoke here, the message I gave was of encouragement and support to this organization and the vital role it plays. Of all the challenges Eastern Maricopa and the whole world has faced since then, one has grown larger and more imminent than any other. The threat of the so-called socialist states and the actions taken by their authoritarian rulers with no regard to international law. A loud noise came from the table of Volksland. I saw Emmerich Hegel pounding his fists on his table in protest. Keep watching. We don't want this to become more than it actually is. Mr. Nines, where's Miss 10? Oh dear. A lot of the world's problems are settled with gunpowder, bullets, and bombs. Indeed, indeed. Today, the need to come together as the leaders of the free world is more important than ever. The CSP, under the leadership of United Contana, has been fueling Volksland's military-industrial complex and its expansionist aims in Eastern Maricopa. The world cannot turn a blind eye to the increasing naval presence of Volksland in the Marquian Sea. All right, okay, this is good for us. This is good for us. We hereby call for the immediate withdrawal of all naval vessels with any offensive capability from international waters. All right, this is good for us, yes. A lot of noise came from the assembly hall in response. Most of the Western Maricopan delegates were clapping, while others either shouted in protest or sat in stony silence. Let us also not forget about the recent events that transpired in another state with socialist teachings. A state that wages war against its own innocent citizens. Welland. Ah, crap. Yeah, exactly, Ivalo. Two superpowers bickering while Roomberg is like just looking to start that war. It's a bunch of horse shit. Welland is not even socialist. That's true. Right, innocent citizens, he's forgetting the violence of the BFF. He has a point, keep listening. Nah, that is a bunch of horse shit. Welland isn't even socialist. Strictly speaking, Smolik's party is called the Wesek Nationalist Party of Neurist Socialism. Their purge of the minorities in their country was, again, largely ignored by the international community. I would go so far as to call it a genocide. Welland violated our past treaties and mobilized their armed forces, deploying them close to our borders and authorizing them to partake in massacres. Lesbia was affected not only by the large wave of refugees coming from Welland, but by the subsequent government seizure of all of our companies that were active in the country. We hereby call the member states to action against Welland and its rogue government. Thank you. Really? What about Roomberg? Don't react. He walked back to his seat amidst enthusiastic applause from most of the Maricopan delegates. Whether I agree with him or not, I cannot be seen applauding his statements against Welland, right? President Nines waited for the noise to calm down and invited the next speaker, the president of Welland, Victor Smolak. Smolak stood up as he walked past Patricio Alvarez, he brushed him aside with an exaggerated sweep of his arms. Wow, this guy. Making mustachioed men look bad, dude. When he reached the podium, he fumbled with the microphone for a few seconds. Then, he smiled at Alvarez mockingly as he raised the height of it. What a douche! Victor's a funny guy. Indeed, a murderous comedian. Victor turned to President Nines and bowed slightly. Mr. President. He then turned back at us and stared out into the hall for a few seconds. Fellow delegates, it is true that the world today faces a multitude of challenges. In the midst of these challenges, the world's most powerful leaders gather here in Kairut. And what do? They make threats, promote hate, and spread lies. Is this the alliance of nations we all want? Where is the cooperation and friendship? Where is the unity? I want to remind you of the wars that the West fought on our soil, of the foreign troops who occupied our country and seized our valuable resources. I want to remind you how they stole the oil from our sacred soil, and they did not know when to stop. The ATO soldiers left, but their interference never ceased. They financed armed rebel groups whose only purpose is to create terror inside our country. So, fellow delegates, don't you dare speak about Welland before you acknowledge your involvement in our civil war, before you acknowledge your own dark past. He's not entirely wrong. I do like the back and forth with David. It's true that the Western powers had their hands in the Welland Civil War, but it doesn't justify the operation. Sorry, you already know my take on dealings with him. As is well known, after the tremendous tragedy of the Welland Civil War, Arcasia made a deal with United Contana, where they agreed upon the withdrawal of their troops along with the removal of half of our army. Not only did they weaken us, we were left alone in facing the genocidal Blutish Freedom Front, which the ATO funds together with Roomberg. I will show you some of the evidence of foreign interference. He picked up a large stack of papers and waved them back and forth. I have clear evidence of direct aid from Roomberg to the Blutish Freedom Front. They smuggled tons of KA-74s in Welland. They smuggled in their spies, smuggled in mercenary commanders. And this is good. This is very good. He's finally talking about it. We're not the only ones now. Yeah, true. I should say something, let Smolek know I'm on his side. Oh, I don't know about that. That's a perfect time for the username wrongdoings to show up. How's it going, buddy? I think, yeah, the whistleblower did confirm this. Yeah, we know this is all real. Smolek is based. I'm gonna say I'm gonna let him continue. I don't want to interrupt him. He's on a roll. He's got his flow on. When our turn to speak comes, we'll speak, and if the opportunity comes to like bring this up, we'll bring it up. Oh, true. You know what? This is just whispering to David. He's got balls taking on Roomberg in the West like that. No, you know what? I want to know David's. I kind of want to know David's opinion on the fact that we have somebody else talking about it, like from a what's it called? Like knowledge gathering perspective. I need to know what David feels about this. I don't want to say too, because I don't want to publicly be like, yeah, genocide, woo, you know. There's a quote. Oh dear. What was I saying? Yeah, I don't want to. I do not want to say that. I don't want to imply that, but I do want to talk to David, see what he has to say. He's finally talking about it. We're not the only ones now. So it seems. These documents will be published everywhere. Copies have already been sent to the investigative affairs of the Alliance of Nations. I expect this organization to do its task and investigate this properly, instead of leaving Welland behind as they have always done. Coming back to the claims of the lesbian representative, first, there is no evidence of civilian massacres by the Wessex forces, nor so-called purges of minorities. Second, the operation was limited only to the militant BFF, not the Bloods in general. That is a bold thing to say in a international, event like this. This had better be true, dude. This had better be true if you're going to say it like that. Third, we know your government is also implicated in the funding of the BFF, and that your oil companies aided their militants during the operation. Fourth, as the state, we only took what was ours. The companies the delegates spoke of were not only aiding militants, they were brought to Welland by force. Know that Welland will no longer recognize the right of any other country to determine what type of weapons we are permitted to possess, or what type of policies we follow within our borders. Welland stands stronger and more united than ever. Our people have spoken. The enemies inside our borders are crushed. Now, I ask every delegate here to read our report on the connections of the West with the armed militants in eastern Maricopa, and I ask the Alliance of Nations to do what is right. Welland only wants peace. Our people want peace. They are counting on the support and understanding of all the nations of the world. The proclamation is, Free Welland or death. The assembly roared, with particularly loud applause coming from the seats of Rican nations. Rican? I'm unfamiliar with this term. I assume it's a geopolitical entity, or a geographical entity rather. Ease. You call it genocide. I call it population sacrifice, population control, even. I mean, it's all about making things sound like nothing was wrong or everything was wrong, depending on which side of the conversation you're in with this kind of a thing, right? Rika is the Africa equivalent. Okay, gotcha. I'm curious to see what sequels and DLC to Suzerain bring for us. He's got a lot of support, and that's good for us as well. Oof. Oh dear. That was a strong speech. It will certainly be remembered. Victor slowly walked back to his seat as he applauded himself. He saluted the Rican delegates as he passed them. Next, President Nines invited Martin Van Horten to the podium. He walked up to the microphone with quick steps. He was frowning and clenching his fists. I could almost see his jaw trembling. Oh, be careful, man. Don't bite your tongue off. He looks pissed. And you blame him? His navy is being harassed by Vogsland every day now. Mr. President, fellow delegates of the Assembly, and friends, it is an honor to be with you today. I wish we could meet under different circumstances. Once again, the CSP nations, and in particular Vogsland, have shown us what they're willing to do to achieve their political aims. I must first thank the delegates from Sordland for being brave enough to support Agnolia, when the whole world left us alone. We were one of the first countries to propose proper cooperation between Eastern Maricopa nations. Yet when we were threatened by Volkslandian expansionism, nobody came to our side. Although Mr. Elvira's voiced his indirect support for us earlier in today's session, I can't keep myself from wondering where he was when our fleets were under attack by the very socialists he spoke about. So here I am, asking for the support of the fellow member states of the Alliance of Nations. Agnolia is under attack by Volksland. A loud banging noise emerged from the table of Volkslandian delegates. All of them were pounding their fists on their table. Those delegates need to learn some respect. That's for sure. Mr. President, please moderate the assembly. This is more than disrespectful. Emmerich Hegel began shouting curses as Nines repeatedly banged his gavel for order. After a minute of back and forth shouting, the noise settled, and Nines allowed Martin to continue. As you all know, our drilling ships, oil tankers, and even fishing vessels have been disappearing in the Marquian Sea, captured or sunk by Volksland. And the Volkslandian fleet is patrolling the seas around Helgeland with complete disregard to international laws. I call on the Alliance of Nations to find a resolution to this never-ending conflict that Volksland has created. We demand the immediate withdrawal of all naval forces from our territorial waters. Millennialist terror surrounds us on all sides. I call the democratic world to action against the tyranny of millennialism, authoritarianism, militarism, and extremism. The banging noise started again. Hegel stood up and approached the rostrum. You are a spineless jerk, a lackey of Arcasian imperialism. President Nines called for silence and started hitting the gavel. What does he think he's doing? All of your complaints against us are a direct result of your capitalist and neo-colonialist systems. President Nines, please, what is this? President Nines smacked his gavel in vain as a shouting match broke out in the assembly. Finally, after a few minutes, the other Volkslandian delegates convinced Hegel to sit back down. I believe I don't need to speak more about this subject. Everything is clear as day. Volksland complaining about the Agnolian treatment of the island while also striking fishing ships filled with civilians. Yep. Oh yeah, they're a problem, man. They're a problem. They're absolutely breaking international law. They're doing a lot of shady stuff. They absolutely should be stood up against. And yes, Sean, precisely that. Mr. Hegel's actions speak volumes about the reality of Volksland and their corrupted ideology. I hope to see this conflict resolved with the help of the Alliance of Nations soon. He quickly left the podium and nodded to the other Agnolian delegate. The two left the assembly hall. President Nines announced the next speaker, Emmerich Hegel. Hegel immediately took his place and spoke in a low, seething tone. Thank you. David, buckle up. It's the Chancellor's time now. It looks like you're having fun, Mr. President. First of all, I want to extend a due welcome to the new states from Rica that have joined this organization. After fighting for years against colonialism and imperialism, they more than earned our membership vote. I'm overjoyed to see them finally represented in this assembly. As our numbers grow and more states are represented in this stage, we come ever closer to finding resolutions to conflicts that plague us. For hundreds of years, the dominant economies of Mercopa raised, pillaged, and exploited the continents of Rica and Zeta. Sadly, Volksland was also a part of this plunder in the years before the revolution, when it still clung to the ideas of imperialism. But when our masses found their voice, the old colonial powers and their new financiers turned against them. No heroes in this game. Thomas is spot on. Not even the player. Tell Nines you want to talk to his supervisor. Tens. Nines wasn't doing a very good job of keeping people quiet. Nines is having nines of it. Oh god. Nines wants zero pandemonium. Alright. These powers did whatever they could to hamper our revolutions. They did not want the people to be heard. They are scared of us for showing the possibility of a better path. Of course they don't want us to succeed. We threaten the productivity that runs on the blood and sweat of their working class. And now they have started labeling us the aggressors. Yet we all know it was the Arcasians who built up military bases all around Mercopa. It was the ATO that was first formed to fight against millennialism. I don't know. I don't know. Huh. They're both just at each other's throats. I have no, founding dates or anything. He's exaggerating. Do you think so? He's not entirely wrong. This is why I wanted to say something, because I do need to soundboard off David. Volksland holds the right to protect its territorial waters and trade from threats. The delegates from Lesbia and Agnolia brought up the Falenko Treaty. But what were they doing when ATO forces patrolled the Antichaean Sea? They were silent. And what about Helgeland? How about the Volgs being killed by the Agnolian government because they protested against an appointed governor? Agnolia and their allies in Sordland have no right to claim they are upholding liberty and democracy. Other nations have no right to intervene in the matters between Agnolia and Volksland. Just as no country in the world has a right to determine what type of naval vessels we use, no country can force us not to defend our seas. If there's a conflict the Alliance can resolve, let's start with the Arcasian base on Folenko Island. Lesbia has been housing Arcasian troops and missiles by our border for years, and none of the member states even talked about it. I also want the member states to look into the Arcasian bases in Lesbia. And if the Alliance of Nations truly claims to have the people's best interests at heart, they cannot stay silent about what the Agnolian government did in Helgeland, how they took away the rights of our people. Perhaps then, there can be proper dialogue between our nations, and the Alliance of Nations can finally demonstrate that it can serve its intended purpose. Let's be real, the Alliance of Nations will never accomplish anything. But unfortunately, the Alliance of Nations remains all too willing to overlook such human rights violations. However, the Volkslandian government is ready to always fight the forces of oppression and colonial servitude on behalf of free people everywhere. He raised his left fist. E revolutin vescore. Was that Swordish? Did I catch that? No, it's not. It's like just a shared language, right? Did I catch that right? He said the revolution will come, yes, but it was in Old Volgish. Very similar to Swordish, right? Some words are even written the same way, but I'm surprised you caught that from his accent. I'm a learned man, what can I say? Most of the delegates from Xena, Rika, and Contana responded with thunderous applause. That's not good. Higo shook hands with them as he walked back to his seat. President Nines announced the next speaker, Queen Beatrice Livingston. Uh-oh. Dear President of the Assembly, dear delegates, dear leaders of the world, just as my fellow Eastern Mercopan delegates spoke about the troubles plaguing our continent, I also have to bring attention to the plight of the people of the North. The Alliance of Nations, the ATO, the CSP, and even the OMEC have never supported our people when they've been through tragic atrocities. Unlike many of the Western countries here, we never received financial aid when natural disasters struck our lands. The pain of our people was never recognized, not even when they faced the threat of genocide by the hands of the Swordish kings. In light of all that, I implore this alliance to take a closer look at the actions of our southern neighbors. They took in traitors and gave them protection. Their president even went so far as to blame our country for spying on his administration through his own private secretary, and he expects the world to believe his lies. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Do we interrupt? The Organization for Mercopan Economic Development is OMEC, an economic organization with 12 member countries, founded in 1921 to stimulate economic progress and world trade. For those of you asking. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Yeah, it's just a little bug. Don't worry about it. It's the game. We're still like basically on the launch build. There have been some patches. Some things apply, some things don't. This only applies in new saves, I think. I'm going to let her speak. I'm not going to be like what's his face was. Eagle. Yeah, we are not going to be like the others before us. I'm just going to call her a hag to David, of course. That hag. Let's first hear her out. I hereby invite all of you to determine the initiation of a proper intragovernmental investigation into Sordland. If the Alliance continues to shirk its given duties, you can trust in Runeberg to take matters into her own hands. It is also important to point out that Runeberg will not stand idly by if more Contanan and Arcasian military are transferred to Eastern Mercopa. I hereby condemn both the CSP and ATO for trying to influence our region with their military power. Before I finish, I also want to say, Mr. Smolak, I'm looking forward to reading your report. I wonder what this so-called evidence is all about. Know that your slander does not work on us. Know that we are ready to die for our freedom. Know that our kingdom stands firm and strong. Expect a grand awakening. Thank you. That's legit. That's just warmongering. Grand awakening? That sounded like a threat. She left the rostrum without getting much applause. Good. Then President Nine spoke my name. Mr. Anton Rain, President of Sordland, I invite you to address the Assembly. David immediately started applauding. Good luck, Mr. President. I walked up to the rostrum and took my place at the podium. Thomas, you gotta go? Aw, that's too bad. Sounds good. You'll catch the rest in the VOD. Won't be too much left, so won't be too much to catch. But thanks for coming through today, buddy. Thanks again for the super chat, and have yourself a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful weekend. And I'll catch you hopefully on Monday, if not in the Discord or something. Thanks for coming through, buddy. Yes, Imperius, where was the option to pull out the belt when Queen Beatrice was talking? Oh dear. In front of me were some of the most powerful leaders in the entire world. I looked them in the eyes. Thank you, Mr. President. Fellow delegates. Anybody who ascends this rostrum must appreciate what a significant gathering that he is addressing. The speakers who have preceded me have expressed their concerns about the problem. Sordland remains committed to the Alliance of Nations and the ideals that gave birth to it. This music, hot damn. Sordland remains committed to the Alliance of Nations and the ideals that gave birth to it. I'm not going to make myself look like a star-struck child, you know? I would like to stress the importance of these words. Alliance of Nations. Okay, yet we all know how often the noble ideals embodied in this charter remain unfulfilled and concerns unheard. We must remain devoted to the dream of a peaceful and free world. A united world. Oof. Damn. It's like, do I want to call these people out, or do I just want to be like... I don't know, actually. This is a... 2 seems like, you know, calling everybody out, being like, y'all aren't doing your job. Everybody else before me did it. 1 is a bit more of a subtle way to do it. 3 sounds, yeah, aspirational, but... I mean, I guess the word peace is there. Ease. Of course, call them out. I don't know. If they all have a bitter taste in their mouth after I finish my speech, we're in trouble. We must remain devoted to the dream of a peaceful and free world. A united world, I think, is the most, buttery up. One works as well. God damn it, I hate this so much sometimes. I'm gonna bring on the butter, as Jazzy B says. We must remain devoted to the dream of a peaceful and free world. A united world. This didn't go horribly wrong, isn't it? Our century is a century of struggle for freedom, a century of liberation from foreign occupation, okay? Our people are still not free from fear, not free from poverty and starvation. Our world is faced with dangers of division, the dangers of large military alliances and nuclear arms races. I think 3 is the most relevant to us. Butter is the best. Butter is amazing. Oh, man. I think, there's an art to calling people out without calling them out, Sean. There's an art to it. You can't make them go like, who the hell does he think he is? They have to think, oh wow, he's right. You know, that's what we were formed for, and we haven't been doing that. They need to, you have to do the inception thing. You got to incept the idea of their failures, not call them failures. That's how you get them to change. I feel like, I do like 1. 1 is a powerful statement, but I feel like 3, oh man. Struggles for freedom, century of liberation, foreign occupation. I'm trying to figure out how this angles against Roomberg primarily, and I think 3 is the one that angles best against Roomberg. And they kind of say similar things, like we're talking about unity, right? And there's the dangers of division, large military alliances, nuclear arms races. Yes, we must be tactful. Yeah. Our world is faced with the dangers of division, the dangers of large military alliances and nuclear arms races. Two is also true, yeah. But I need to be able to loop it back to the bigger conversation is my concern, I guess. Now it is more important than ever to set aside our differences and unite under this charter. It is time to ask the hard questions, ask if the organization is achieving any of its aims. Today we're confronted by a difficult choice. Our great achievements may either be used for the benefit or to the detriment of mankind. Yeah, I hear you, Ease. I'm more and more inclined to do that as time goes on, for sure. Oh dear, now it's more important than ever to set aside our differences and unite under the charter. I think that's what I'm going to go with. Difficult choice or government achievement. I'm actually leaning towards 2. Like 1 and 2 are the 2 options I think here. And while this is calling them out, it's not as aggressive as earlier. It's that same thing as I was like, okay, you know, let's start having these conversations kind of a thing. God damn. Oh, let's try it. Oh man, let's try it. It's time to ask the hard questions. Ask if this organization is achieving any of its aims. I don't know if this is a good idea. I can hear some of you yelling at your monitors, no, what are you doing? Now I'd like to address some of the topics mentioned here today. I'll not respond to any of the comments made today. Instead, I want to talk about our responsibilities as the Alliance of Nations. No, we have to address. We have to address. I'd like to address some of the topics mentioned here today. It was earlier claimed that Welland was involved in a genocide. Such strong words shouldn't be spoken without proper evidence. I don't want to talk about everything that was mentioned today. God damn it, man. We're deeply saddened by the tragic events that took place in Welland. No, we on an international stage, stabbing our ally in the back? No. We got to stick to our guns. It was earlier claimed that Welland was involved in a genocide. Such strong words shouldn't be spoken without proper evidence. Oh, this is going to be it's all downhill from here, folks. We will continue our cooperation with Welland. Sordland stands together with the Wessex people. I have to admit that operation results in many unnecessary deaths. Oh, man. Sordland stands together with the Wessex people. Continue our cooperation with Welland. I feel like continuing our cooperation with Welland is the way to go. Because if I say we stand together with the Wessex people, does that mean we stand against the Bloods? Right? You know what I mean? Like, does that become a statement centered around ethnicity as opposed to politics? Will it be misconstrued as being like... That makes me a little concerned. I see what you're saying. Bring in the people, blah, 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 all that kind of stuff. I get that. But I'm a little concerned this could be turned against us. I see a couple of calls for 2, actually. Alright, I'll try. Maybe y'all are seeing something I'm not. It makes me a little nervous. But it is between these two. I could swing either way. Sure, Sordland stands together with the Wessex people. My concern with 1, by the way, is that we will continue our cooperation maybe implies that, yeah, we're happy to, I don't know, kill more, I don't know. Sordland stands together with the Wessex people. I have concerns about both options. Is this literally backing a dictator? I don't think any superpower will like this. It's tough, but our other option is to condemn one of our allies. And we don't know if the superpowers will... Look, the superpowers are going to want something in return, right? We know this already. So am I going to condemn my ally while also not having other allies? Like, that would... I'm shooting myself in both feet that way. I would also like to address the Queen of Rumburg. I mean, I want to do all of these, but... Will I be able to do both? Rain is making Sordland a better place for the Bloods, at least there's that, yeah. Let's address the Queen of Rumburg before we deal with Van Houten. Because if we only get to choose one thing, I would rather it be Rumburg. I also would like to address the Queen of Rumburg. She talked about some hypothetical threat that our nation poses to Eastern Mercopa, while Rumburg's military has tripled in the last decade, okay? The real threat to Eastern Mercopa has always been Rumburg. Today, it's still the case. Sordland's always wanted to have peace between our nations, yet we're being threatened by Rumburg. Let's go with 3. Sordland always wanted to have peace between our nations, yet we are being threatened by Rumburg. We will never recognize your vile words against us. I condemn your actions and your speech. We wanted to be diplomatic even when Rumburg shot down our... Yes. We wanted to be diplomatic even when Rumburg shot down our plane. I also have some evidence to show the Assembly. Mr. Smolik was right about the Ka-74s. I'm leaning towards that for sure. Sordland only wanted peace, not baseless accusations and threats. Ooh, if Rumburg continues its aggression, Sordland will be ready. 3 is going to be an option that some of you will want, I know, but it's not the option we can take. Nordvin, you gotta go. Sounds good, buddy. Thanks for dropping by. Have yourself a wonderful, wonderful day. Thanks for coming through. Have a good day. I'm thinking 1, we need to use the evidence we have here. Yeah. I also have some evidence to show to the Assembly. Mr. Smolak was right about the Ka-74s. It gives him strength as well. Rumburg has definitively been arming the BFF in Sordland, okay? We discovered that many militant groups in Sordland were being financed or armed by Rumburg. Oh, I don't... Which one should I go for here? They both seem to be saying the same thing. Huh. One is specific, and I think being specific is a bit more inspiring of confidence. I think I'm going to go with one. Let's stay focused on the BFF conversation, because that's what Mr. Smolak had, so that's what we'll have as well. Let's be specific and stay focused, lest we fumble, somewhere here. Aditya G. Oh man, good to know. Thanks for the heads up. Hope you had a good time playing it, though. Runeberg has definitively been arming the BFF in Sordland. There is another important piece of evidence that we have, provided to us by someone close to the Runebergian government. Oh, that's that whistleblower, I assume. I hereby call on the Alliance to serve its duty. I hereby call on the Alliance to support Sordland. No, there's another important piece of evidence that we have, provided to us by someone close to the Runebergian government. Yeah, Spindle, I'm sorry, man. I didn't realize that I didn't realize this would take so long. I think we're almost done, though. I think we're almost done, but sorry, dude. The VOD won't be too much longer than the live stream, so at least there's that. Like, you won't have missed too much. But thanks for coming through today, buddy. And thanks for sticking around even though we went over. Have a wonderful, wonderful Friday, man. Mr. Hailstone was branded as a traitor in Runeberg for blowing the whistle on the country's hidden nuclear facilities. I guess we do know about nuclear facilities at Runeberg. Must have skipped my mind. According to our reports, Runeberg has been building its own nuclear weaponry. Damn. Which way to go? Oh, it's fantastic. Yeah, classified, for sure. 100%. If anybody, by the way, is watching and wants to pick the game up, you can do so at my store if you want to support the channel while you pick it up. You don't have to, obviously. It's appreciated. The support is appreciated, but I can highly recommend the game. It's a fantastic game. You don't have to pick it up from my store. Those aren't set in tandem, though obviously, one begets the other in terms of line of thinking. It is a really fun, fantastic game. And there's RenK1124 dropping that store link. Thank you very much, buddy. Check it out in chat if you want to pick it up. Specific is stronger, I think, yeah. Mr. Hailstone was branded as a traitor in Runeberg for blowing the whistle on the country's hidden nuclear facilities. Runeberg got those WMDs, indeed. I hereby call on the Alliance of Nations to serve its duty. Runeberg and its nuclear facilities must be properly investigated. Or I hereby call on the Alliance of Nations to support Sordland. We're facing an existential threat. Ooh, let's keep this about them. Do not make it about us. I think we should focus on them. Sounds good, Renke, thanks. By the way, the Paradox sale, those games are also on sale on my store. I should get all the EU4 stuff on there. Just haven't updated the data entry and stuff. I should do that, but that sale is ongoing on my store as well if you want to get some of those games or DLC. Damn, I think, you know what? We should be, again, let's focus on Runeberg. Let's not make this about us. It's not about us. It is about the entire region. I hereby call on the Alliance of Nations to serve its duty. Runeberg and its nuclear facilities must be properly investigated. Ooh. This is weird. Thank you for listening to our concerns. I wish to see a resolution for the AN soon, or now I'd like to bring my speech to a close. Exactly, Sant, exactly. They're a threat for everyone, not just us, and we have to position it that way. And true, Ivilo. Yeah, 2 was kind of showing weakness back there, you sure? Sounds good, BM. Good luck. Have fun. Rest well afterwards. But, yeah, I guess congratulations are in order. Thanks for dropping by, buddy. Have yourself a good one. Let's go with this. I wish to see a resolution from the AN soon. Just pushing for action, you know? I think pushing for action is important. I don't know if 2 gives more options, Ease. And if it's the ending, that's an awkward ending to a speech. That's a really weird ending. And now I'd like... That's like, you know, in like high school when you give a presentation at the end of it, you're like, and that's my presentation, thank you. So, thank you for listening to our concerns. I wish to see a resolution from the AN soon. Oh. The AN can no longer fail to ignore the machinations of the enemies of peace. We stand and always will stand for the rights of the people of Sordland and Eastern Maricopa, just as those in other continents. If the right actions cannot be taken, it will be quite evident that international relations cannot continue on such basis. That's not an option. Oh. Oh, one or two. This is a tough one. The AN can no longer fail. Okay. I think what it means to say is the AN can no longer ignore the machinations of the enemies of peace. I like that quite a bit. But I like this standing with the people quite a bit more, I think. We stand and always will stand for the rights of the people of Sordland and Eastern Maricopa, just as those in other continents. It makes us more global, you know, more of a global angle. So sure. Let's go with that. We're agreeing way too much with ease. Yeah, it is a cause for concern, isn't it? Long live the Alliance of Nations. Long live unity and peace. There cannot be any more procrastination or delay. The AN must adopt decisions according to the wishes of the people of the world, or the people of Sordland and I are honored to have expressed our concerns before this noble assembly. Ooh. Brown nosing. Call to action. Or an accusatory call to action. Huh. For real, classified. I feel like with a bit more glitter we could have been more efficient. The people of Sordland and I are honored to have expressed our concerns before this noble assembly. Long live the Alliance of Nations. Long live unity and peace. I like your angle there, Ease, about bringing up the people. But there's something about that unity and peace statement. Long live the Alliance of Nations. Long live unity and peace. Peace in Maricopa, peace in the world? What, am I breaking out into a song here? Speech has overstayed its welcome, man. Long live the democracies of the world. God damn. Hey, Renke, listen. It's fine. It's fine. They're fond of me enough. Some of them are. Amorgno Escor is very... I mean, it's a little too... I don't know. I didn't appreciate the other guy signing off with Ancient Volgish or whatever it was. Peace in Maricopa. Peace in the world. There was some applause from the assembly. Thank you. Raising my fist is a weird thing to do after asking for you know, I don't know. Thank you, I think is the way to go here. I left the podium. I walked back to my seat. David did not stop applauding until I sat down. There we go. How was it? Yeah, I'm fucking... oh. You can tell I'm nervous about how it went down when I let that slip. How was it? It's not a bad speech, Mr. President. You did well. President Nines announced the next speaker. Dwight Walker. We still going? Mr. President, I first want to congratulate you on your election to this high office. Mr. Secretary, delegates to the Alliance of Nations, ladies and gentlemen, fellow friends. We meet again on our quest to bring peace and light into this world. But even though some of the clouds have lifted, the world has not yet escaped the darkness. The Contanan Security Pact is rapidly expanding its influence. It is very troubling to see the democratic nations of Maricopa be threatened by those millennialist powers. I refer, of course, to the presence of Volkslandian and Contanan fleets in the Markian Sea. They are harassing other nations and hampering international trade. Is this not an attack against world peace? An attack against the free trading nations of the world? Today our obligations to world peace are being tested by United Contana and the millennialist bloc. If we fail to counter this threat, if we stay idle and allow them to surround us with their war machines and blockades. If the attackers do not face any consequences, then this unstable peace we believed we had built will be the world's downfall, and posterity will point its fingers at us for not stopping it. Emmerich Hegel and the other Volkslandian delegates started making noise again. This time Hegel had taken off his shoe and was banging the table with it. Oh no! I have no words, the Chancellor's gone mad. It's getting ridiculous. He's not even ashamed, at his age. Despite its claims, the CSP's actions will only bring war. Yet we still believe United Contana and Arcasia, together with their allies, can come to an understanding, for our mutual benefit and our desire to avoid the destruction of the world. We believe that all the people of the world must be free to choose their own future. No country, be it Arcasia or United Contana, has the right to impose its values on others. But I will say this to the leaders of United Contana. If either of us is to be secure, we need a peaceful cooperation. Not defense systems, forced blockades, or shows of naval superiority, say the people who are establishing air bases across the continent. If the Alliance of Nations cannot find a resolution to this conflict, the ATO remains ready and able to react. Hegel stood up with a shoe in his hand. Throw it! Throw it, man! Throw it! What is that supposed to mean? You're promoting war in the Alliance of Nations. Mr. President, this cannot... Nine slammed the gavel down and shouted, Silence, please! Mr. Chancellor, please let me finish. We did not interrupt you when you addressed the Assembly. Finally, I propose that the Alliance of Nations undertake the noble cause of helping the people of the world through rewriting and properly enforcing its Human Rights Declaration. The Alliance of Nations cannot survive as a static organization. Its size and duties are increasing enormously. It should adapt to the changing world. Hit the like button like Hegel hit the table with his shoe. I love it. Natalie, oh, he's just trying to shoo away anyone who disagrees. Oh my god, oh my god. Who listens to a gavel use a shoe? So true. So true. Oh my god. But peace and rights do not rest in the hands of this organization alone. They rely on the hearts of our people and the spirit of cooperation between our nations. So let it be known, my fellow inhabitants of this world. Let us take our stand and see if we can finally achieve a lasting peace. Thank you. Most of the assembly applauded his speech, the ATO delegates in particular. That speech had very dangerous connotations to it. Yes, I hope we won't be seeing a direct war between the superpowers anytime soon. That would be the destruction of the planet. The applause continued for some time. Walker shook hands with various delegates on his way back to his seat. President Nines announced the last speaker before the break. It was Leon Malenev. Leon, I guess. Malenev slowly walked to the rostrum in his iconic suit. All of the CSP delegates stood up and applauded him. Honorable chairmen and fellow delegates to the Alliance of Nations. Here we are again, at the most esteemed meeting of states representatives in the world. However, increasingly, we are being threatened, disregarded, attacked, or ignored in this assembly. The representative of Arcasia has just shown this unfriendly attitude towards us yet again. Arcasia would have you believe we are standing in the way of lasting peace, yet the peace they talk about was only possible thanks to our missiles and our growing base in the developing world. The ATO kept waging wars against people's revolutions and forcing new independent states to be their puppets, binding them to themselves through the Arcasian lira. And now, yet another Arcasian president is telling us that we are the aggressors, and they are the keepers of peace. We will not be silent anymore against these lies. When was this peace you talk about? Where was this cooperation between our countries? Have you ever accepted our invitation to talk about denuclearization? If you don't like us, don't accept our deals, don't listen to our concerns, and keep pointing fingers at us. Why did you invite us to the Alliance of Nations? Every year, United Contana comes to this assembly to address the real problems of real people. People who suffer because of your systems, your wars, and your ignorance. Whether you like it or not, we'll keep representing the laborers, the slaves, the oppressed of this world. And believe it or disregard it, history is on our side. We say to the representatives of capitalist countries, come, visit us. Come and see the revolution working in Contana. Show our continent to your people without distorting the reality. If you cannot do that, then you need not come. We believe socialism will triumph over capitalism in the end. Such is the logical conclusion of the development of humankind. This time, lesbian delegates started laughing very loudly. Some other delegates booed. Ridiculous. Maliniv or the laughing? The laughing, of course. You can keep laughing, gentlemen. Communism will bury you. Suddenly the laughing turned into shouting. If you really believe in cooperation, we will be waiting. We are not going anywhere. However, if the ATO keeps intervening in our matters, it is natural that the CSP would react. Despite threats from the ATO, Roomberg, or any other nation or organization, we must not succumb to further division and violence. We must ask ourselves, what do the people of our countries expect of us? They surely don't want war and bloodshed. So let us leave to our children and grandchildren good memories of our time and a better future for all. Let them look at history and say, once there were great divisions and complex problems, but the leaders of the world came together in the Alliance of Nations and succeeded in settling them in order to ensure our peaceful lives. Let us act in such a way to make this session not a session of threats, but a session of hopes and the realization of them. The government of United Contana and the united people of Contana are ready to serve their duties for world peace. Long live the People's Revolution. So much condemnation under the dome, oh dear. That was a great speech. I'm just very concerned about the rising tensions between them and Arcasia. The assembly broke into massive applause. The applause continued for some time. Maliniv slowly walked back to his seat as the president announced a break. That was a lot. Yeah. Let's grab some lunch. Lead the way. We walked out of the hall to have some lunch and fresh air. That was a lot. Holy hot damn, that was a lot, folks. That was a lot. Romy Patel, there's never a wrong chat to tell me you're enjoying something. I'm glad to hear it. Thank you very much. Thank you, for real. The support means a lot. Enjoying CK3 and Bannerlord, glad to hear it. I'm having a good time. Bannerlord has turned a corner as well. I'm glad to hear it. Yeah, we gotta wash that whole endeavor down with some whiskey. But for real, folks, there's no two ways about it. There's tensions flaring. There's news to read, and there's a conversation about a couple of things, including our foreign affairs. We'll see if our pleas to the Alliance of Nations has accomplished anything. We'll see what comes of the conversation. We'll see what comes of the border friction with Roomberg and of our past decisions on that front. And we'll see what happens on this unfortunate little island. But folks, all that will be seen next time. We have gone well over time over here. Yeah, 45 minutes over time. I understand that can be a little problematic, and I apologize for anybody who was hoping that I would end on time. I try to stay and stick to a schedule. I did not realize that event would last so long. Holy. But you know what? It was a good event. It was a dramatic one. A lot of things are moving. Next session is going to be wild, folks. Again, Friday, same time as always, 10 a.m. Eastern. We're going to be kicking this off. But of course, on Monday, we got Crusader Kings 3. On Tuesday, we've got Phantom Brigade. And then Friday, back with Suzerain. Fizz George joining in as a knight. Folks, throw up those banners, throw up those E's. A warm welcome to our latest knight, Fizz George. Got to update the end credit screen this weekend as well to, of course, give our members their proper place. Make sure to let us know your username on Discord as well, buddy, if so we can get your proper rank and color assigned as well. Thank you very much. Again, members, super chatters, it all makes a massive difference, and I appreciate it greatly. On which note, folks, a massive thanks to all of the channel members and patrons who've been supporting this channel on a monthly basis, year over year. Again, I appreciate it greatly. Thank you so very much for the support. A massive thanks as well, of course, to all of y'all who come through and watch, whether it is live or the VODs. It means a tremendous deal, and as I say always, we would not exist if it were not for each and every one of you. So thank you so very much. And it seems as though, as things wrap up, we have a bunch of new subscribers joining in as well. Hope you all enjoyed the show. Again, if you are not in the Discord, don't hesitate to join the Discord. Link is in the description down below. And Fizz George, happy to have you. I appreciate it greatly. Thank you so very much for the support. It means a great deal, and it's great to see the flags and E's get thrown up. Leah Rubisho, Sean P, Murray Silber, Yagiz Karadgolu, and Mario Rossi. Thank you very much for subscribing. Hope you're enjoying the show. There's Natalie P dropping that Discord link in chat as well for easy access. Just missed it, Bella. Ah, that's too bad. Gonna watch from the start. It's a good one. Enjoy the VOD. Enjoy your Fridays. Enjoy your weekends. I am going to be MIA. I'll be honest with y'all for most of today. There's some exciting stuff going down over the coming weeks for the channel. But this weekend I'll be hanging out and just trying to get some chill vibes going this weekend in the Discord. Hopefully I'll catch some of y'all this evening as well. But yeah, whenever I do catch you, whether it's in the Discord, in the comments, and one of the various live streams between now and next time, till I catch you. Cheers.